What's going on, everybody? Anthony here, 6 Scale Mafia. We are on our Tuesday show, episode 89, guys. Wow, we were almost at 100. A very special panel tonight, man. We got a full panel. I'll just do a quick rounds here. We do have Peter and Alex, both from Mondo Toys, here with us tonight. We'll go ahead and just kind of go around the room. Peter, thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me, man.
Awesome time ahead. Alex as well. Pleasure to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Miguel, of course. Toy Quest 101, my
right.
dude.
I'm excited. You know, Mondo's a big part of Toy Quest 101, so I'm excited to be here to talk to the people behind the scenes. Can't wait to see what's going on tonight.
We got a lot to talk about tonight, man. Of course, P-Rock. What's up, man? How you feeling tonight? Good vibes.
Oh, man. Yeah, gotta keep it that. Yeah, I try to keep it good vibes, man. No stress.
We're the opposite. High on stress and good vibes.
It's gonna kill you, man. That stuff kills you, man. Makes you look older too.
I know, dude. And of course,
good for you,
Rob, my friend. Thank you for coming. How are you doing tonight?
This is gonna be an exciting show.
Hello there.
Yeah. Looking forward to it, guys. So no, I appreciate everybody tuning in. We got a few people pouring in, so we'll let some of them come on in shortly. But yeah, I mean, guys, again, thank you for coming, man. This is awesome. I mean, how do we even begin this, man? How do we begin this?
Well, I'm so stoked you had us on. You know, myself and 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗧𝗢𝗡, the head of our collectible division at Mondo, he's on vacation this week. You know, the lead up to Skeletor just about broke the man, so we told him, hey, take a week off and recuperate to get ready for Comic-Con. But we've been wanting to come on and talk to some of the 6 Scale community. We're huge fans, obviously, and we've had, you know, some great relationships talking to all, you know, Toy Shiz, Geek Dad Live, Toy Anxiety, a lot of the toy shows we like to watch during the week, but we haven't had a chance to talk to the 6 Scale community, so we're stoked to be here.
Dude, absolutely. And that was cool, man. I did not know that you knew of the channel. So
yeah, man.
Like, oh.
I watched, you know, I mean, during the pandemic, I started really like paying attention to the YouTube space, obviously Justin stuff, you know, Jetta, who else do I watch? I love 6 Scale Cantina is probably my favorite. I remember watching that guy's his first stream. I'm like, holy shit, dude, what is this guy doing? And then it's just the most fun show to watch. Like, I just love his energy. And so, yeah, I just had a blast watching and getting hyped and started really diving into my 6 Scale collecting during the pandemic. So I love watching all you guys for sure.
Dude, it is awesome. I appreciate it very much. I know I was shocked. I was like, wow, this is so cool, man, because what you guys are doing over there is I don't even know how to explain it.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, like, you know, and Alex, you know, will speak to this. I think our goal, especially in the 6 Scale space, with Batman the Animated Series line, the X-Men animated line, the Masters of the Universe line, and now even getting into our more realism focused Universal horror line, is to kind of not just rely on nostalgia. I feel like that's easy nowadays. You can hit the nostalgia vibe pretty easy with the member berries, but instead, like, if you know, Rob was telling a story before we went on stream about finding those He-Man figures when he was young, and I remember holding my first He-Man battle damage figure, Merman, and Trapjaw, and just being blown away by looking at these things in my hands. And I was like 4 or 5 years old, you know, and as a toy collector my whole life, I've always been seeking that feeling again. Like, how, you know, especially when you get more money, you can afford to buy more stuff. After a while, it's just like you're looking for that hit of like, fuck yeah, this is the thing. And so our goal at Mondo is to just get that feeling back, you know, and especially when you're working on MOTU, people have those feelings for MOTU, you know, you got to go hard, and there's a lot of great options out there. So you got to bring everything to be in the arena.
That's well said.
See, in my opinion, I think you guys accomplished that, in my opinion, because in the 1/6 scale, Mondo kind of gets like a bad rep in a way. And some in the 1/6 scale, some people see it as like bigger toys, bigger Marvel Legends and stuff like that. So, like, I was kind of like on the fence with you guys, but when I actually first bought my first one, which was the actual Batman one, you guys hit that nostalgia, man, because it brought me back to actually watching the cartoons, man. It felt like I actually had Batman from the cartoons in my hand, because when you have it in hand, like, the colors just pop way more. than the pictures.
It's a substantial feeling figure too. You know, I'll be honest with you. Before I worked at Mondo, I didn't really understand the line. I love them. They're beautiful. You know, I saw them at all the shows. They looked like those great I got the feeling of those great Justice League maquettes that came out, you know, I want to say in the early 2000s or whatever for the animated show, but just an articulated version. I'm like, oh, it's really cool, you know. But when I held one for the first time, and Hector, when I first started working at Mondo, sent me like one of everything we had in stock to like just get familiar with it. Great moment, by the way, to get a pallet of 6 scale figures delivered all at once for work. And to be able to go through them and hold them in your hand, you feel that weight. It's like it's a premium item for sure.
Absolutely.
But then being able, like you said, 𝗕𝗄𝗧, to go through all the accessories.
The accessories,
right? Because that's part of it, you know. It's like, and I think that's where we really shine, is just telling as much of the story of this character as we can.
This is the best accessory you guys made right here.
Yes.
That's the best accessory ever.
So what's the internet with that one, man?
Hot toys, anything. This is the best. I love this damn thing.
That started
so
many memories of
with
this.
memes. Like,
so for me, guys,
we're always trying to think of that going forward.
Yeah.
So for me, guys, you know, I'm more of a statue guy. But for me, it's the execution with you guys, man. You get out the gate to present something, and it's just boom. And you did that with the Wolverine. I got one here, obviously.
Yeah.
But this right here,
that's
like
it,
Alex
right there
said,
in the box.
broke the internet.
Yeah.
Just because this
I missed
meme
that
right
one.
here was not only popular, but this scene from the animated series was iconic. So the minute this came out, I was like, man, this is gonna put Mondo on the map, and it did. And sure enough, you know, I was fortunate enough to get 2 of them. But man, what an exciting thing to have in hand. I actually got the privilege to unbox it and reveal it with the writers of the X-Men animated series, Eric and Julia Leewald, and they reacted to it as we opened it. So that was pretty cool. But man, if they approve, if you got people from the actual show approving, 𝗕𝗘𝗏, all these guys approving of, you know, the things that you're doing something right. So definitely kudos to that. And man, like you said, having it in hand, like 𝗕𝗄𝗧 said, this accessory right here just killed it for us, right? But yeah, you guys are doing great. I can't wait to see what's in store for San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh yeah.
And yeah,
you're not ready. You're not ready. And you know, that's a good point you brought up, Miguel, that for us, you know, and the history of Mondo really is that we love all the same stuff you guys love, right? Because we're all the same. Like there's no difference. It's just that I just work in this company and you work in a different company and you do your things. But we're really all the same, especially when you realize that we're all watching the same channels and all that, right? So it's like we're sitting around on our, you know, in our meeting saying, okay, what is the thing that you got to put in this box so people go, fuck yeah. Like we're looking for that moment every time. And you don't have to do it. Like we could just put out the figure and it'd be cool and people buy it, you know, but it's like, what's the thing that what is the element that really connects when you open the box, you go, bro, these guys saw the show too. That thing. You know? It's not just some random ass corporate thing.
It feels well, though. That's the whole thing. Like because my first Mondo figure was the Wolverine.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, you guys really put a lot of like the minutia that most people wouldn't get. You know, you're like, wow, look at like the I mean, shit, even like Jubilee, right? She has like 5 head sculpts. I mean, like
lockouts are insane.
I still got
I'll tell people,
my Jubilee Magneto.
Yes, the Jubilee. If I strongly recommend it, if anyone's on the fence, to check out Jubilee. I think that was the hardest thing to nail. You have one there, right, Alex?
We even got the elf head.
Yes.
Can I bring it up?
You know, that was the one. That was the one.
I like the bubblegum one. There you go. The bubblegum. That's the one I like.
Iconic, bro.
And like looking off to the side.
I need to get that because I love
Me
the
too.
X-Men.
I admit I gotta get those too.
You know, like I just got the so-so Rogue, and I love. You know, I wasn't gonna collect. The thing is that before the stream, I was looking at all your X-Men figures. And I'm like, I have to get these, you know. And the thing is, if it's a one-off and if it doesn't go with what you're collecting, but the great thing about your toys is when you put them together.
Yes,
like somebody made a video where they're all so it becomes a tableau unto itself.
Exactly.
So it's a specific Mondo X-Men animated series.
I brought you up
display.
Oh.
I mean,
the Magneto.
you can't get much better. And that I think that's going to be my first purchase because I love that figure.
I'm so impressed by the Jubilee when I got it in hand. It's another one where I'm like, wow, we're putting out Jubilee before, I don't know, Cyclops. But I think Jubilee is such a flex in hand.
Well,
because,
so a Cyclops is coming.
Well, I didn't confirm it.
I mean, that's what I heard.
I mean,
Here's always talking
speaking.
about Cyclops. It's
No,
always,
I'm-
when you doing Cyclops, this.
Is there a good
Yeah.
chance for like maybe possibly Rogue or Psylocke?
Whoops,
I don't
I'm
know.
messing
I'll
this
tell you
all up,
this.
guys.
I'll tell
Rogue
you
needs to
this.
come out. That's for sure.
Psylocke too, man.
I'll tell you this.
Mr.
If you look
Sinister, please.
if you look at all the
Oh,
figures,
yeah.
I ain't go to villains yet.
if you look at all
Sauron.
the, if you look, oh, that's a good one, Sauron. If you look at all
Omega
the
Red.
figures, interesting. If you look at all the figures that we have available, and you notice the colors that are missing, to Rob's point, you'll get an idea of what's coming sooner than later. Because yes,
Wait a minute.
I agree
Bro.
with that. Because the whole magic of this line, in all seriousness, is the magic of the X-Men. You don't, when you remember the X-Men arcade game, do you just picture one character in your head?
No.
Oh no!
Or do you, right, you picture that you could play with all of them. The artwork is all of them, you know. And so the X-Men line is one of these lines that I keep telling people, I'm like, I think as well as it's doing, people are sleeping on it. And when people finally get that nostalgia hit from X-Men 97 coming out,
Yep.
when we start
Mhm.
talking about it, and like, I think people are going to start trying to chase those figures again, man, because there's no one doing it like this. It's just not.
No. There isn't.
Let me ask
Yeah.
you something. Well, two things. And I do have a super chat I'll get to here in just 1 second. BD, I got you, bro. Apocalypse thoughts? Can't say anything.
Are you asking me to reveal
Thoughts
the
on
next
the
figure,
character or
Anthony,
the-
on the show right now?
Is that the next one? No, I'm not.
No.
Oh,
Bro,
well,
no,
you're
I'll
like
tell you
you're
this.
like
Give us a
6
hint.
seasons
Give us a
in.
hint. Is the next one a villain or a hero?
Well,
Hold
the
on,
next
hold on.
one, Toy Shiz already leaked, and it's Logan. It's going to be our Comic-Con exclusive. It's super sick. The accessories, the different heads, you're going to love that because they
Plaid
only showed,
shirt,
yeah, the plaid
beautiful
shirt.
painting.
Yes.
Oh,
Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah.
okay.
But there'll be some
Painting.
awesome reveals as well on the Comic-Con floor, just about a month away.
nice.
And so,
Okay.
yes. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
and I'm not asking
No, I'm
specifically. It's
teasing
more
you.
of
I'm
like
teasing
a
you.
suggestion, perhaps.
No, you
know,
are.
like-
You are. It's okay.
No,
you
it's
know,
all
or,
good.
Or,
And I'll-
like,
and I'll
give us a
tell
hint,
you.
a good chance. Like,
I'll
good
tell
chance.
you,
I mean, dude, I got
got to see-
Apocalypse
Sick.
all
Listen,
over my
Ooh.
chest, bro.
My
So
thing,
it's
Anthony,
like-
you're like 6 seasons in. Like, relax. Let's get like the
I
main
know,
guy.
I know,
Like they started
I know.
with Jubilee and Wolverine. That's kind of how the
I
first
know.
episode started.
how
Knights of
cool-
the Sentinel, right? Like, ooh, Sentinel.
Night of Sentinel, yeah.
I will-
But how
I will
cool would
put
a
this- I will-
Apocalypse be who's like
once
double
this scale
sized?
Sentinel, imagine that.
I'll put this out there. Tommy Hodges, the other sculptor on our team,
Mhm.
huge
Beast mode.
Apocalypse fan. He's
Oh.
got an animation cell from
Oh.
the show of Apocalypse on his wall behind him. So
Yeah,
there's
we're big
definitely
fans of it.
Apocalypse fans on the crew.
Yeah.
That's
See,
all we
and-
need
Yeah.
to hear.
The
We'd
benefit
like
of
to do
Apocalypse
everybody. We
would
like
be
to do everybody, you know? And
Archangel
so,
Man.
like,
That'd
I
be
gotta
the
get,
benefit.
for me, I gotta get Colossus at some point.
Ooh, that's a good
Oh,
one
yeah.
too.
But I gotta
gotta
get him
get
in
the
his
line.
costume, right? Like,
Yes.
he
Yeah.
never wore the costume on the
Full
show.
Yeah, but I want it in the costume. And
Pride of
so,
the X-Men,
so yeah,
Colossus.
man, I'll just say that the great thing about the X-Men is it's, you know, for our 6 scale line so far, we've focused mostly on the animated stuff. You know, I think a lot of people clearly know the difference between what we're doing, you know, what other 6 scale companies are doing, but there's a hole that was not being filled, you know, and I cannot freaking wait to you guys to see the rest of the X-Men stuff. I can't wait to show you what's happening in Batman, you know, coming up at Comic-Con. There's going to be a freaking mic drop moment at Comic-Con for the Batman line. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
Let's go.
Dude.
Yeah.
Well, Rob, I know you're on the fence, but it's teetering
I will
more
get
and
him.
more, right?
No. I'm convinced. I mean, I got to jump into this X-Men line just because I've already been trying to get all the third party. There's not a lot of licensed X-Men figures in the 6 scale.
Yes.
I mean, I have 4 Hot Toys Wolverines. You've got what Sideshow did. You know, I've got the Sideshow Cyclops is good. The Magneto's good.
Beautiful.
And then the So-So, I hope they continue on. And then I've got so many different third-party various figures from the movies. You know, I've got an Ian McKellen, but
yeah.
Magneto, and I've got a Michael Fassbender Magneto,
Yes,
which is fine. But to have a uniform line where you can get all these figures and you can put up the X-Men, because everyone knows that what you guys have, like you said, the Mondo stuff is really, it when you have it in hand, it's the quality's there.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like some companies, I shouldn't diss on somebody like NECA, but I've had a lot of NECA figures that break. The joints break. You worry about the brittleness of harder plastic. And I think that your line doesn't have that.
Yeah. And look, and to be totally transparent, we had some, you know, factory issues this year on our He-Man line where a lot of people were, not a lot of people, but enough people were getting their He-Mans in the box and the waist had come off. The torso had come off.
Yeah, I've seen
and
those.
You could put them back on, but some people couldn't. But we replaced all the bodies and we re-engineered it completely from scratch. And now this Skeletor figure that I'm so stoked to really like dive deep into is a brand new re-engineered buck body. So it's a small team at Mondo. It's myself. Well, I'm not even technically on the toy team. I'm creative director overall. But Alex, Tommy, Hector, Bob, Caitlin, that's our toy team. You know, that's our in-house toy team. And so when we're releasing something, if there is ever a QC issue, and it happens, look, man, like we have friends in every company now, it happens, you know.
Yeah,
I'm so proud of our customer service and our ability to, like, you know, in the moment say, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Everybody's getting a body that, you know, if you have an issue, you're getting a body, and if you figure out how to put the first one back together again, like a lot of people did, well, you got an extra body to display that extra gear on. And so just you know, proud of that company for that, you know. Absolutely.
Do you guys I mean, it's probably not fair to ask, but I'm gonna ask anyway.
Yeah,
do you guys know, like, okay, at a certain price point, you know that you can only release a certain number of figures a year that makes the viable? So because you want to sell out, you want to have I mean, Mondo, they created a whole poster market that didn't exist with the posters. They did such a wonderful job. You guys did such a wonderful job with that. Do you know, like, would we only get 6 figures a year, or every other month, or 4 figures a year? Do you even know that data yet?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I don't know if it's like a nailed down science to the decimal point, but I would say that internally, more as an ethos, like we're not trying to make it so that if you're collecting X-Men, that you might as well have a subscription because we're dropping something every other week, right? Like that's not the point. You know, that's not the point, right? And not only that, like I mentioned, we have a small team and we're focused on nailing it. Like Skeletor took a while to nail. You know, some of the figures that you'll see. Man.
It looks amazing.
Man. I got it. I got the time.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah. And some of the figures that we're going to show off at Comic-Con, engineering wise, were tough to nail. So for us, it's more about like any company at the beginning of, you know, the year we'll plan, or, you know, technically ahead of the year, we plan our line out and we say, okay, if we do X amount of releases for X-Men, X amount of releases for Batman, X amount of releases for He-Man, that should give like a lot of excitement throughout the year for those collectors. And look, if you're collecting all 3 lines, there's going to be a lot of figures for sure. There's nothing that I can say about that. But like if you're focused on one of the lines, you should be good, you know, and you should be excited all year. You should have an anticipation for things coming out all year. The line does not get sleepy. We don't have lag in the lines. You know what I mean? And but yeah, we don't, to answer your question in a roundabout way, Rob, I don't think we're thinking about it in trying to sell out, because even now, like we've been pushing towards timed editions, you know, where
absolutely.
And I think, you know, internally, at least I can speak for the team now overall at Mondo. We love when shit sells out. Of course, that just means that the reaction is like, fuck yeah, we did it right. I mean, and that's what we take away from it. Like people are like, you did it right. Or you nailed the exact character, you know, that I wanted, whatever. But instead, you know, a timed edition for us is like, if we're going to do that, we have numbers we want to hit, you know, based on our projections. And then if we hit it with a timed edition, it's actually a reaction to the fans and to the audience. It's saying, hey, like if you do a limited, like our 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗘 is way more limited, you know, and it's not timed edition. And it is like, there are hard, fast sellouts and there are people who get upset, but the nature of that product is different. And so, but with 6 scale, we're finding that like we're doing a 10-day window for Skeletor. In fact, that's probably, you know, the main reason we're here is let everybody know that you got till Friday.
Yeah,
you
the
know,
30th, right?
Yeah, and the point with that was to give everybody 2 Fridays. So we launched it last Tuesday. You had last Friday if you got your paycheck that day, and because people always tell us, dude, I didn't get paid till this day or whatever, you know. So this time, for the first time, we said let's just do 10 days and give everybody 2 Fridays. So if you get paid like most people every other week, you got a chance to get it if you want to do that, you know. So it's more about reacting to what we hear. We're in all the groups, we're in all the message boards, we're paying attention, and we're collectors. So like, you know, I think about that all the time too. Like, holy shit, if they drop a figure, like if they would have dropped 𝗕𝗘𝗥𝗖𝗢𝗡 from the Book of Boba Fett in 6 scale from Hot Toys, I would have had to buy 3 of those things just to have one. And he's the Hammerhead for those that don't watch that show religiously.
Well,
The greatest Star Wars show of all time.
It's interesting because that Mondo and the time, it's like it's synonymous, dude. Whenever we have conversations, like everybody's like, "Oh shit, Mondo's just dropped this. I gotta," you know. But then there's some people who are like you said, kind of a little turned off sometimes because they're like, "Oh no, like I don't have money right now," and all their stuff's always timed and. Yeah. But then again, like you still have the regular versions as well.
Right.
Yes.
So
yeah. Well, we don't do that every time, but we do it a lot of the times. And so that the regular version, although I just gotta say, if you end up you can't get it this round for whatever personal reason, totally get it. You'll have a chance at the regular edition. But boy, oh boy, the exclusive accessories for this Skeletor, you're going to be on Etsy or on somewhere trying to get a wired Skeletor cape, because this thing as an exclusive, it is the single selling point for me, not to mention the articulated dragon. Like come
that's
on.
What, yes. See, I'm a Godzilla fan. And see, I was trying to stick to the Batman and X-Men only. I didn't want to do
We gotta talk Godzilla later, P-Rock.
I didn't want to do that, man. Yeah. But like that Skeletor, the pictures, just there's so many different poses and
pull
versions.
Pull them up, Anthony. Pull those pictures.
And so many versions. There's so many different versions. You have the Mattel. You have all like the old school versions. I mean, the dragon got me. And I was
if you don't count the heads, like if we just put in one head only,
you get the old school head too.
Right. You would have 3 full Skeletor looks on this figure. 3, if you don't count the heads. So now if you plug in the possible combinations with the different head, the different look, I think it's like 12 different looks or something like that. It's crazy.
Dude, there's so many pictures, like 20 something, because like there's so many different versions of that Skeletor you can have. And the wire cape got me too, so I didn't know that's part of exclusive. I thought the other armor pieces of the dragon.
There's a picture exclusive. I think, Anthony, on the site that shows the accessories and shows what all is exclusive specifically. And maybe that'd be
Yeah, and I'll bring it up here just. Let me hit a few super chats, guys, because we got a few piling up. But yeah, and that's funny because we did this last week too. We actually talked about this Skeletor on last Tuesday, because I like, listen, I'm into your X-Men 100%. Like I got my Wolverine so far, love it. But even me, I was like the lanes, right? Because I'm all over the place. But I saw that Skeletor and I was like, fuck. Like,
I have to get He-Man now too. That's the only thing. Now I need to have He-Man with Skeletor.
We put up the regular edition.
I know. I need to get that one too.
You know,
grab that one.
No, for sure.
Go
ahead.
I was gonna say that to me, Skeletor, like to that point, because I collect a little bit of everything, and I also like, you know, I'm into like Halloween masks, so I got tons of like random shit in my collection. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like Skeletor specifically is one of those characters that goes in every toy collector's collection, because, you know, we talked a little bit about it before the stream went live. What's the history of Masters of the Universe? It's toy design. It's like it's a bunch of guys sitting around saying what would be awesome, you know, and it's from the toy design that we're here 40 years later talking about these characters. I mean, there's been a million cartoons and there's been movies and this and that and the other, but it's the designs of these characters that live over the years through toys. I mean, the 4 Horsemen releases, remember, in the early 2000s?
Oh yeah,
I used to love those things, man. And it's just that design. And it's like if you're a toy collector, you probably have a Skeletor.
Yeah, he's if you just want the, like, when you picture a bad guy, in your head. It's
Yes.
Skeletor. He's
It's
got
Skeletor.
he looks like death.
Yeah.
He's
Yep.
crazy colors. He's like
Yeah.
a warrior. It's just, I mean, it just whatever you collect,
Yeah.
there's a place for Skeletor.
Well, and that's what I figure. Most of my stuff is 80s, some 90s, and it's like, oh, you know what? You could throw a Skeletor in there, and it's synonymous with the times.
I can't promise
know,
you won't be hooked after that, guys.
That's
but
why I was
think
fear. I
you
was
should
just
stand
about to
alone.
say that. That's why I was
Yeah.
fearful because I didn't want to
But
do the Master.
That's on
Universe.
your. Those are
already
your
do.
issues to deal with, P-Rock.
I
that-
know,
that you
right.
can't
Yeah,
control
it's gonna-
yourself.
That's a
Okay.
future P-Rock problem, right? That's what she's gonna say,
They,
so-
I started collecting when they had Man at Arms, and I think you guys had
Yeah,
Tila too, right?
not yet.
You guys, no, you never did Tila. You did Man at Arms. I forgot.
Tila's
Merman.
coming.
Merman.
We've announced that. Merman, yeah, he's right here.
I wanted to get Merman so bad. That's one of my favorite villains, man.
Oh
Yeah.
man, he looks so good.
He's a
He
good one.
does, man. But he sold out everywhere. I gotta try to find him. But that's why I didn't want to do Master Universe. I have to collect backwards again too for some of those characters.
You're not wrong.
But they look good, man. They look good.
But real good, Big Talk Pound 1, my man, dude. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat, man. He says, will you guys be making the 6-scale line for the Harley Quinn show on HBO?
We're super fans of the show.
Oh, the cartoon.
We're not currently making anything for it, but I would love to. I'll just leave that.
There you go, my friend. No, we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much. Toy Box, $10 super chat, dude. Thank you so much, my dude. He says, I can't wait for the John Carpenter's Thing figures. Also, would love to see you guys tackle the 1990 Ninja Turtle figures. And for the love of God, you guys would kill small soldiers.
Love small soldiers.
Well, it's interesting.
yeah,
Speaking of
go ahead.
small soldiers, that's sort of the experience, because I was always like a 1/12 scale collector. So
Mhm.
some of our stuff is like the first 1/6 scale stuff that I've had in person that I haven't just admired from afar, and it kind of takes me back to like small soldiers, seeing that, because like those figures looked so much better when that movie came out than anything you could buy in a toy store at the time, right? But now like we're in this era where you can have like what a movie prop quality figure would be in your collection. So that's just funny that you bring up small soldiers.
Can I ask real quick about the turtles? Because you guys actually did the original turtles. Do you guys still have the license, or you guys don't have the license? I'm just curious. There hasn't been anything new from the 1/6 scale turtle line.
First I want to say this to show that I'm a real toy fan. I don't care who makes it. If it's awesome, it's awesome. I'll just say a PSA out there for all toy collectors. If you're a 1990s turtle fan and you spend Hot Toys money and you haven't gotten the NECA quarter scale figures, you are fucking up. Because those are some of the greatest toys ever made, period. This quarter scale 90s turtle figures that I just saw them pop up again online for $150 a piece.
Yep.
I bought the Michelangelo thinking, I just need one. Where am I going to put these?
No, you gotta have all the turtles. You gotta get all the turtles.
It is so fucking good in person. The accessories, I'm just saying that as now I'm speaking as toy collector Peter, not Mondo Peter. That's the best. It's never going to be done better. Now, Turtles, diehard fandom, Alex, Hector, Tommy, all of us love Turtles. And we definitely want to get to it. We just came back from the licensing expo in Las Vegas and met with a lot of people. And there's going to be a lot of awesome Turtle stuff this year, obviously, with the movie coming out. And everybody's going to be chipping in on Turtle stuff. And I think when we get the chance to get to it, I think the move would be more like what we do with MOTU, which is like.
I was gonna say I don't want the new stuff. I want what you guys do. I want to do our own 90s cartoon.
No, I want to do my own. I want to do our own take.
Like okay, all right, even better.
Yeah, cause like I said, I don't think you're gonna get. If you're a '90s Turtles fan, get the NECA figures. Don't fuck around. They're so good. Done.
They are. They are.
Yeah.
You're good.
They're super.
You're getting a quarter scale figure.
The cartoon ones too are good too.
Yeah, for the price of less than a Hot Toys, by half almost.
Well, now, I would say that NECA is as far as their turtle line.
Oh, that's my clip. That's all.
Yeah, like NECA's killing the turtle line. Like you guys are killing these lines, like the X-Men and like it's crazy. It's crazy good, guys. And we're gonna bring up Skeletor in a second, guys. But just a couple super chats, man. Rock'em on Chris, my dude, $10 super chat. Thanks, my man. I think we lost P-Rock, but he'll probably just pump right back. I love that Mondo is starting to do a realism. Perfect opportunity to bridge the two worlds would be Eddie and Roger Rabbit together.
I love that idea.
I'd love to see Mondo do it. Any chance?
Yeah, everything's on the table for us, especially if look, this is how it goes. Like we are, like we said, the company has licenses, and now that Funko acquired Mondo about a year ago, that's helped a lot with us being able to get more licenses. And but right now it's like an embarrassment of riches, and it's like, where do you go? Because we still have so much we want to do with the lines that we're currently working on. But yeah, we are, to his point, we are doing we are starting to dip our toes a little bit more into the realism game. And so we just debuted 𝗦𝗢𝗠𝗘 from They Live, which I'm so impressed with that head sculpt, you guys. Like,
it's really, really good.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, both the MacCready and the 𝗦𝗢𝗠𝗘 are great. Do you guys, like, both of those are Universal movies?
Yes.
I mean, so the They Live line, I would love to see like Alice Cooper from Prince of Darkness.
That'd be fucking great.
The homeless, and maybe have a removable arm when his arm falls off.
Yeah.
And I got to ask, since you're doing a 𝗦𝗢𝗠𝗘, I mean, you've got to do, it seems
Keith
like,
David?
No, one of the aliens.
Oh yeah, I'd love to do that.
The They Live aliens are,
yeah.
They're so quintessential for the whole.
Totally.
But now I was going to ask your ethos, because like the MacCready, even with like the fire, there's like a little animation vibe to the MacCready, more so than the head sculpt with 𝗦𝗢𝗠𝗃. But I love both of these figures because.
And the MacCready comes with the monsters. I don't know if that was clear when we displayed it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, would you do bigger monsters like the Blair creature at the end? That a big version of that would be great to have. It seems like it's right up. Yeah, Alex, how would you like to sculpt something like that? The big.
Man. Yeah, I mean, any Wilford Brimley, anything.
Yeah, we're gonna go that, and then the Cocoon characters as well. Right after that, that's okay.
But I mean, anything that's not Universal though.
No, and we're not limited to Universal. It's just that we love the horror titles that they have so much, and obviously, we're John Carpenter fans, and that whole gang has been so good to us, and we got a chance to show him the figures in Dallas about a month ago at the Texas Frightmare show, and he flipped for them because he's a toy collector. I don't know if you guys know, he's a big Godzilla toy collector.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So, yeah, he's a big toy geek, and so, but yeah, he flipped over them. And dude, I'll just say that we wouldn't do a monster pack and a MacCready if we didn't have an awesome counterpart to stand against them in the very near future.
Okay, and then if you're gonna go after, since you're already in bed with Disney because the license, it would be great if you did a Big Trouble in Little China line.
That one's my top choice to do, and I'll just say that's a tough license for some reason, but we want it.
Rights issues are probably
it's got to be, because I mean, I have Sideshow. I mean he's literally right here. I mean, you got the Jack Burton Sideshow, and I think they did a great job with this figure.
Great. Great.
And that was a wrap. That was it. There's
I want to do the monsters.
There's no Lopan. Nothing.
Yeah, well, you got to have the 3 storms and Lopan, and and those figures are they're toyetic.
Yeah,
I mean, having a Lopan with his, finger thumbs or whatever.
Dude, come on, how cool is that?
All the accessories.
What we're doing right now on this stream is essentially what the toy department at Mondo does Friday afternoons, at 6 p.m. my time, where it's our happy hour, just cut loose, work meeting. But it's just shooting shit and like, what if, and should we, and could we? And then, we always have an adult in the room writing down notes so that we can go and ask our licensor later and say, hey, can we? And then, if we can, I'll say it again. Like when we were in Vegas, we were essentially doing licensing hunting, and Hector and myself were out there showing off everything we've done in the last few years to basically talk to companies and say, hey, let us, play with your toys essentially, and let us have a crack at some of the stuff. What's really funny, I thought, is that to date, the best 1/6 scale figure we've shown off across the board in terms of quality engineering, realism, paint, is our Megan figure that was on display next to 𝗦𝗢𝗠𝗃 and MacCready, and it didn't really leak. I heard it's on the internet somewhere, I'm sure, but it didn't get Nobody thought to snap a photo of it, and I'm like, holy shit! I'm glad because then we can have a moment with it at Comic-Con. But that one, if that tells us anything, it's like we're in it, you know, in the horror game in a real way, and I can't wait for people to see that. I can't wait for people to see the head sculpt that we didn't display.
Yeah.
Well, another
and that's
license
lacking too.
Yeah,
Sorry,
another license that would be great to see you guys do is Planet of the Apes.
love to do it. You mean the Mark Wahlberg one, right?
No.
No,
Go back and do
I'm teasing.
Planet
I
and
know.
Beneath.
Yes,
You know, so you could.
yeah.
I was just thinking Mondo, like ape. I don't know why I think Mondo and I think ape sculpture somehow, some reason.
Yeah,
You know, and then the mutants from, you know, it's the face. You could take the face off to reveal. I reveal my face to my bomb, my god.
yes, man. I
Dude.
would kill to do some of the aliens from Mechagodzilla. You know what I'm talking about? Speaking of apes,
Oh yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be so cool.
Yeah.
And the gods. I mean, obviously Godzilla stuff, and
we do a
'Cause
ton of it in the soft vinyl space and the designer vinyl.
yeah, I
space.
loved some of the stuff you have already done. The soft
Yeah.
vinyl, like Hedorah, and those.
Yeah.
There's all the
Our
colors.
Space Godzilla that we put out recently is like, it's a big chunker. And then we have a Rodan that we just
Yeah.
showed off that has the magnetic Mothra larva. But I think it leaked already, so I can talk about it. I don't know how well you guys know James Groman, but I feel like he should be a name that all toy collectors, you know, kneel before. James Groman is an artist. He's a toy designer, but probably most special about it is that when I was a kid, all the toys that I was collecting in the late 80s, early 90s were all these gross out toys, like a Toys R Us, like Mad Balls, Blurp Balls, My
Right.
Pet Monster, Barnyard Commandos, like all that kind of stuff, right? James Groman was a designer on almost all of those that you can think about. And now he's had like this renaissance as a high-end toy designer. The Man Thing that Mondo did, I don't know if you guys saw that.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
James Groman's
That's really
design.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
a nice one.
And there's a Godzilla coming out from him in a few. I think they're gonna put up the pictures in a few days, and wait till you see like that thing. It's so I can't believe Toho let us get away with it because it's gnarly.
That's
And
badass,
because
dude.
you're in
Has to
with
be one of the
Universal.
statue, or-
It's a vinyl figure like the Man Thing, but it's got swappable parts. So there's like
Okay,
a
all right.
whole set of parts where it's like Godzilla with his skin missing and his skull and muscle showing and all that kind of stuff. He's got the regular head sculpt and all that, but it's got this 90s vibe or like early 90s, late 80s vibe to it that he brings with all his designs. And we're so lucky to be able to work with him. But just as toy fans, I know we're talking 6 scale, but as toy fans, like I strongly encourage people to go and check out James Groman's work.
And this
Dude.
Godzilla is going to be big too. It's a big soft vinyl. So
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
it's
P-Rock's
hell
like,
yeah.
man.
Regularly see it.
Mm.
How about Legend?
Love
Oh,
Legend, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, just like Meg Mucklebones and of course Tim Curry and
Well,
and
I think the problem is,
Bandwidth.
well, there's a few. Well, real quick, actually, Bob,
Yeah.
dude, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I just want to get this. He said, "Thank you, Mondo, for filling the holes of our childhood."
Yeah,
And
don't
Bob's
tell
a
your
big fan.
therapist that we do that because that might
So,
go over
no,
differently.
but I think I got you, Bob. I
hear-
know it's been sitting there for a minute. No, I appreciate it, Bob. But no, I understand too because like they're all good ideas. We all get crazy. Like, oh, what about this? What about that? What about that?
It's crazy, dude. Yeah.
But then you have a schedule too, right? I mean, you're
Yeah.
only so big. So then you're like, well, wait a minute. If we have 19 properties, how the hell are we gonna? You know what I mean? You can't get it all out.
And not only
in
that,
the
like,
schedule.
yeah, and look, I'm sure we'll start to grow now, especially
of
with
course, yeah.
all the success and all that. But and I just wanted to give a shout out to Field of Burns 83. I'm right with you, buddy. I want all the Universal monsters in top tier, like 6 scale. Like I love the ones that have come out in the past, but none of them have hit the mark the way that we could do it nowadays. So yeah, I see you there. But yeah, look, there's licenses we can't even get to yet. And because of what we're working on, and it's like I can't wait to get to it, you know, frankly. But it's just imagine it's overwhelming, frankly, like to be a toy fan my whole life, and I'm sure Alex, you know, feels the same way. And then to be in a situation where like we're picking like from like A tier ideas, like do we do so? And then sometimes it's like, do we do the 3rd tier line of characters from a certain line of toys, or do we
Right.
jump to the A tier of the next franchise line?
right.
And you know, sometimes business dictates you jump to the A tier of the next franchise, But the geek inside me is like, but then we're never gonna get this fucking character. Nobody ever gets to him in every line. So it's like,
Right.
you know, it's that too. It's tough. But hopefully, you know, that we've shown with our X-Men line and now with Masters of the Universe, especially the stuff that we've teased and shown off, that like we're down to get in the weeds with these characters.
Oh yeah, dude. I'll just say real quick, Jason, shout out to Jason Deuce, celebrating a whole year of channel membership, dude. I thank you so much, man. And I know this is kind of to the point here, but Batman and X-Men are great. He says I'm in, but what I need to know is, are we getting more classic Universal? That's kind of what we're talking about right now. I love the creature figure, but
I
he's
will
looking
single-handedly walk into the offices and smash everything until we get that line executed. No, but all seriously, we're all huge fans. We had some great conversations about it, and I can't say a lot of it because it's like some of it's kind of technical and weird and not relevant, but we are looking at some designs from an unusual source, a non-traditional source, to make what I think will be the best Universal monster line that you could make. And I'm not talking just Frankenstein and Wolfman and Creature and Bride, and of course I want to do all those, but like, where's Metaluna Mutant? Like, I want.
Oh yeah,
right.
But then
we're
again,
the mole people, Rob.
The great thing about that, what you're talking about, that is even if people don't know who the Metaluna Mutant is or where it's from, design. It's still that it's got that Mondo monster feel. Same with the mole people, and there's like Dr. Cyclops, you know. And some of that
Mondo
stuff.
has a huge history with Universal monsters in our posters. We've done like every movie multiple times through different lenses, you know, and that's the other exciting
and some
thing.
of them are in the best posters that have ever been done.
Yeah. You know, and thanks. Yeah, I mean, I feel that way too. I've been a fan for a lot longer than I've been working for the company. But the reality is, you know, one of the coolest things that we do is not only are we striving to get those realistic characters, but we have that relationship with all these artists, and getting to filter the ideas through their eyes and come up with something brand new. I mean, part of my cred shot up because Mondo, you know, I was doing posters for Mondo, Godzilla posters, and they're all linoleum block print. So they're black and white, they're hand carved and stamped.
Awesome.
You know, they're really unusual stuff. And I never thought anybody would want to put these out because they were so out of left field. And B, would Toho ever approve of it? You know what I mean? And they sold out so well multiple times that's how I started becoming friends with the toy team at Mondo, is that we designed a Godzilla in my style.
I gotta bring you up.
Yeah, I remember seeing that one.
Yeah,
and
that's
this is
so cool.
And this is just based on that art style. It's like crazy, you know. And trust me, I was shitting a brick. Like, was anybody gonna want to buy this weird Godzilla? But we sold 2,000 units in a week, and sold out of it. And that's the Mondo secret sauce to me. You know, because if you give the right toy team the right license and the right, you know, the amount of time they need in the budget, they'll make killer shit. They'll make killer shit.
And that appeals to both the designer toy fans and then also Godzilla fans.
That's the point. Yeah.
Yes.
That's the goal.
Yes. Because there's gonna be people out there that have never heard of Mondo.
Yeah.
Right. But they're Godzilla fans, and all of a sudden they're like, oh shit, I could get this really cool Godzilla piece. Boom. And that's the market right there.
I didn't know you guys made Godzilla stuff till like probably maybe a year ago.
Oh yeah, dude.
I found that
we're
late.
diehard fans.
Man, this.
Yeah, and
you know
look,
what?
and just want to put a button on that by saying like that platformed me as an artist. You know, as an independent artist, that risk that Mondo took on me and my weird designs shot me into another stratosphere where now a lot more people know what I do, and I can have my own business with my artwork on the side, and other companies are like, yeah, that weird shit that you were talking about, we're into it too. Like, let's do it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. Here's the man.
Yeah, here's. Go ahead, Rob.
Well, I was going to say, because you're with Funko and they have it seems like Funko has a license for everything. Can you guys get grandfathered in if somebody has, like, if Funko Pops has a license to do this film? Would it be easy for you to then make something in 6 scale from that film because they already have a license?
Well, that's that's, you know, theoretically, yeah, but legally it's never that easy. So
well, of course, and there's likeness approvals.
But you know, part of our adventure in Las Vegas a couple weeks ago was to basically introduce Mondo to a lot of the companies who Funko has worked with forever across all its brands, like Loungefly and other, you know, all the brands that Funko works on, Pop, obviously, and say, hey, Mondo's here. This is what they do, and we want to work with your stuff. And so it seemed like everybody was game to go. So I'm very excited for what the next year looks like behind the scenes, and then hopefully to be able to celebrate and show that off with you guys in the future.
Because there's things that Mondo I think would, like, there's toys that I've always wanted to get that I think I'm probably the only person who wants one.
I'm with
like
you.
a Zardoz head, the stone head from Zardoz, and Sean Connery in his red underwear with the bandoliers and stuff, because nobody knows that movie anymore.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's come up in our meetings.
Yes.
yeah, I mean, if a floating, like, I bought stuff off Etsy. People one guy made a beautiful sculpted flying stone head, but if I could get a Mondo version that was like this big, that was on a stand or something, that was or magnetic, that could
it was a
float.
magnetic deflate. Yep.
And that's where I think Mondo, because if it was Mondo's like the only company that I could see getting away with making that, and people would buy 2,000 of them.
Hopefully, yeah.
Because no other company would make one.
We should, Rob. We should bring you into our toy meetings on Fridays, because I think you and our one of our head of sales on toy side, Bob Fulkerson, would have so much to like.
Oh, hey man,
yeah.
Maybe I can get you guys to do a Logan's Run 3-pack. Logan, Francis, Jessica, and then Box would be the chase figure.
Dude.
I'm telling you, you fit right into our toy talks
it's like
behind the
That's
scenes.
awesome.
So yeah, look at the exclusives on this, and just if you're on the fence, because this is what's going to happen. And look, maybe this is strategically planned out this way. I'm not going to admit it one way or the other. But
Part of the plan.
if you're on the fence, by the time people start getting these in hand, right? Because I think it says on the site that we're looking to get them in hand in November. By the time people start getting these in hand and unboxing them and putting up their pictures and doing all the different looks, and then the regular edition goes up. I mean, awesome that you'll have a chance to get the regular edition. And you can see it still comes with a ton of shit, like all the weapons, the PVC hood, the multiple hands, and you even get the retro head. So you got good amount of stuff. But you're gonna have a level of FOMO that you're gonna feel, the level of like action, not fear of missing out, fear that you missed out because of what comes exclusive in this box. I'm just saying it again. Like I just told you, advice: go support NECA. Love that company. Buy their turtles. They're the best that's ever been made. I'm telling you for real now. This is one that I would not sleep on. Just look at that cape and hood, bro. And it's all wired.
Yeah, look, I'm speechless on it myself, dude, because like you said, I mean, there's so many different options with him.
Yeah,
there's so many different options with him, and it's so cool that you guys did the wired cape, man, because that's, man.
Yeah,
it blows me away. Just because you guys did everything, you did everything for him.
Is the chain gonna slide through that slot, or is it come attached already to the chest piece?
Yeah, you can slide it in, I'm sure. And then for the first time, I'm sure all of us remember like the Dragon Blaster, the squirt the water, but he was stuck on the armor. You can never pull him off. So this one comes off completely and can be freestanding and is articulated. So it's so crazy.
And I have to give a quick shout out to Tommy Hodges, who sculpted Skeletor and all his accessories and put so much time and effort and care into making the dragon articulated, making it able to cling on the back and look right like the old figure, but also come off and be separate, figuring out like the clasps that the chain snakes through. Like he put everything into like every inch of this figure, like reworked the articulation from the ground up. Like I mean he really gave it his all on this.
Yeah, shout out Tommy, he's the man.
It shows.
It does. And kudos to you guys, whoever did the photography on this.
Raul Barrero.
Wow.
Yeah, he's
who it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out, man.
Yeah, follow him on Instagram. We always tag him on our Mondo stuff, but if you're just a fan of great toy photography, like there's stuff that he's doing that's just like I said, you're looking at the pieces of his 6 scale Snake Mountain that he's not fully showing in any of these pictures. But we just reposted him today. Like he just added an update to the gate of Snake Mountain. He made it all, dude.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's so freaking awesome.
Yeah,
that is
so like this is the PVC hood. So like if you're you know, like, so if you want that specific look that kind of like harks back more to the original figures, or even the 2000X line, that PVC hood is like a perfect look for it. And that's what the regular edition would come with. And it still looks fucking awesome. But if you want that wired look and the cloth cape and all that, and then here are the claws.
It's great that you've got so many different variations that you can choose to. It's just great.
All in one box. All in one box. Now, don't get me wrong. You could get a regular edition to have an extra body, so you can put some of these looks on it. I get that. Right. This was the 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗢𝗢 head. So like the original He-Man comics that were packed in with the figures in the early 80s. Like this was the design of Skeletor's head. And in fact, this specific pose that he did for the photo is 1-to-1 with a piece of art from the comics. Like if you guys are there's his Instagram. Someone put up. Thank you, Bob. Raul Berra. So like you'll see the work he puts into these photos. They're insane.
And that brings me way back to the beginning of the conversation. Things like that, the subtle things that the hardcore fans see. They're like, oh my god, you guys are doing this. You're putting in all these different details, these different accessories. These, you know, it shows. Hey, we are fans of this IP. Like clearly, like just as much as you are.
Yeah, there are friendly arguments that happen behind the scenes about you need to include blank. And someone's like, I think we're already like, gotta include it, you know. Yeah, look at that, dude.
Going down the steps.
Fire. Real quick, a couple more super chats to get through real fast though. But thank you, Hammer of God, for $5 super chats. Is any chance we'll get God of War, Ragnarok, Kratos, or a Trace? And since you guys have done great with Masters, how about filling the void?
I was gonna say
Thundercats line.
I was gonna ask that question, but I didn't get a chance.
Well, we did a great Kratos. I don't know if you guys have seen that one. I think it might be sold out, but look for it online. It's an awesome figure for sure. Nothing happening right now in God of War, and I won't answer the rest of the question.
I knew you wouldn't. I knew you wouldn't. Cannot confirm nor deny.
I can't even acknowledge.
Right. Can't even acknowledge it. All right. Well, Dirk Diggler's stunt double.
It goes with the theme of the cartoons.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Man.
It does.
Next question.
Yes. Thank you for the $5, my man. Any chance we can get a Bishop and Cable in the X-Men line?
I mean, there's always a chance. Like we want to do everybody. Again, you know, like we want to do everybody. In fact, we're so into the X-Men characters that we, again, talking about these happy hours that we have on Fridays, we were just shooting the shit one day and say, how do we get Juggernaut in this line, you know?
My god, come on.
And so, but you know, well, the thing is that like there are so many characters that we probably want to get to before Juggernaut, but we want Juggernaut. And so we also, like I was saying before, we have this Marvel soft vinyl line, like the James Groman Man thing came out from that. There's more stuff going to be announced at Comic-Con for that Marvel soft vinyl line. But we unveiled at the licensing show our soft vinyl Juggernaut, which is fucking massive. And it looks like, if when you see it, you will probably get a lot of the references that we're pulling on that figure. So it's even going to have swappable arms. To have the Colossus arms, so if you know that deep.
I was gonna say, you're gonna do like Colossal Knot,
like yeah. Look at Toy Shiz posted all the pics, so shout out Toy Shiz when you ever get a chance. Go look at his Instagram or his YouTube channel. He posted the pics. It's big. It's standing next to Jubilee. It makes Jubilee look like a Marvel legend.
Yeah,
wow.
It does.
Wow. All right. And Mike Clitoris, man, everybody's got some funny names here, man. So, but thank you for the super chat, brother. He says, thanks for the conversation. Will you have any New York Comic-Con exclusives?
Yes.
Thank you. You heard it right here, Mike. Yes, you will. I know some things with the big characters.
With the big characters, is there any chance maybe you get Clayface from the Batman anime series?
I think when I'm gonna answer you directly. The Comic-Con figure that I was talking to you about for Batman animated series is not Clayface. But when you see the figure that we're doing, you will know the answer to that question.
All right.
Okay.
Look at
You'll see how shy we aren't.
Badass.
Well, let me ask you this, if I may. So we have this cloth cape, this wired cape.
Yeah.
Was this a decision that came specifically with Skeletor, or was there any way you could have or didn't even plan to do something like that with Magneto?
Well, with Yeah, go ahead, Alex. You want to talk?
Yeah, well, just with the animated figures, you know, we really want to capture the animated, the exact silhouette of like the character designs. So being able to sculpt the cape so it just always looks the way it does on the show, kind of like lifting up, you know, it's easier than trying to get cloth to do that, to hold that form.
Like we wanted this silhouette
like
so
that specific.
perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
And also we wanted to have the cell
bring it
shading so it feels again like it's, I mean, this really is a love letter to the animated line. So
Yes,
the idea was, you know, make it feel like it popped off the animation cell. It is that. It is a 100% dedication to that, you know. So this, we were never going to do it on this figure.
Right. But with the MOTU line, you know, this isn't intended to look animated. It's supposed to have, you know, like the texture, there's real metal, there's, you know, there's, you know, more realistic textures.
God, this is so cool.
It makes more sense, you know, there's a little more of a realism to them.
No, that's good. And I appreciate you guys clarifying that, because I know some people, you know, will look at certain things, like if you go into Hot Toys territory, for example, and you're like, you know what, hey, oh, look, now they're doing this. Like, this must be new. Like, now they're doing all USB lightsabers, or now they're, you know, putting a bunch of rolling eyes in most of their figures now. People tend to kind of think that in those terms where they go, oh, look, this is a wired cape. Does that mean, you know, like, is this a new upgrade? You know what I'm saying? Like a new iteration. Right. So, but that makes sense. It's similar to actually about Hot Toys, how they just released their Moon Knight figure. Right. And some people were complaining because his hood is sculpted. And in my head, I was like, but dude, that's such a pain in the ass. If that was fabric, even wired, to like get it just right, like how you want it. So in certain situations like that, I'm like, well, no, that makes sense. So
I'll say this as something that I've learned from now working in the toy industry for almost a year, that what I used to think as a collector were obvious, like, what the fuck? Like, why did you guys do or not do this? There are so many freaking reasons now that that I'm like, I have this tenet that I live by in general. Since I've been able to work in the entertainment business. I was at Skybound for 3 years, Robert Kirkman's company, and now at Mondo. And when you see how the sausage is made, right? What I've taken away from this is, if you have a favorite figure, a favorite movie, show, album, whatever it is, cherish it and consider it a fucking miracle, because there are and Rob, you know, you're nodding your head because you can speak to this as someone who's made something very difficult to make. It is a fucking miracle when shit comes out and you're holding it in your hand or experiencing it, or when you're at the theater watching it. It's a miracle, dude, because there's so really much of a grind to get there, you know,
and it's only gotten worse.
Yeah. And so just what I would say is, that's not meant to say like, just like it. No. It's more like, when you love something, realize it's a miracle. Yeah.
Well, and it's also, toy collectors especially, we're a very dissatisfied bunch in general. I mean,
we're extreme hunter gatherers.
Yes, and it's when you get, you know, it's funny. I was watching Justin from Justin's Collection review. I'm a huge Moon Knight fan.
Yeah, we know.
And while I did not like the Moon Knight show from Marvel, it doesn't matter because I just like the character of Moon Knight.
The design's perfect.
So I can buy that. I love the suit. I love the way the Moon Knight suit looked. And Justin said, not only is this a great figure, it might be one of my favorite or one of the best Hot Toys figures ever.
Yeah.
And hearing him say that, because Justin's a pretty fair judge of figures from the toy standpoint. And I hear so much bitching and moaning and complaining. I guess I'm old, so to know what I've lived through in terms of licensed figures that I've wanted my whole life, and what I've seen, like looking at this Skeletor figure, I'm like, I couldn't have ever imagined we'd get a figure like this back in 1982 on that June 4th afternoon when I bought my first Skeletor figure. It looked cool, but it wasn't this. I mean, if I had this when I was 15 years old or even younger, I mean, where would I be now in my life? I'd be a billionaire, because I would have been so inspired by.
That's how it is, right? That's what you're talking about. Like, I remember, like, getting the He-Man line, I mean, anything we had. I mean, shit, I remember I was like, I must have been 5 years old. I don't know if you guys remember this, but I think it was Kellogg's. It was frosted cornflakes or some shit. They had the, remember you used to cut out the proofs of purchase. You could send stuff in.
Yeah.
That was the first one I ever did. I was talking to my mom. I was just, I was like 5 years old or some shit. And she's like, well, if you clip them, blah, blah, blah. And I had like 5 boxes of cereal and you could send it in and you could get the Mumra that was like hooded. If you guys remember that.
Yeah.
And that was, dude, to me, I thought, even as a kid, 5, 6 years old, I thought that was the coolest shit ever. And I look back on it now and I'm like, dude, all our toys sucked. I mean, they were awesome. They were awesome at the time, right?
Yeah,
so I it's just to confirm with Rob's point. Like nowadays, the stuff that like what you guys are doing, all these great companies are doing, it's so hard for me to complain. I'm like, bro, like we've come a long way.
Yeah, and look, as someone now who's on this side of it too, I value the criticism tremendously, or else I wouldn't be a fan of watching these shows. But we always do that. Like when we release something, we're like, what are people saying? Because you're so close to it in the design process, sometimes you can't see it for what it is anymore. And you want to hear where people where the hype meter goes up for people, or where people feel like you missed the mark, etc. Because those are the opportunities to really take the product to the next level. And we're all die-hard toy fans. We want to make the best thing that we can make, period. And if it means that sometimes you come out with something that you thought was 11 out of 10, the best you could do. By the way, I think this is the first time you could ever remove Skeletor's hood in a figure like this.
It's awesome.
If that means that you got to come out with your best and then someone tell you not there yet, and you go, and you take it back and go harder, we're all going to benefit from that, because the product just keeps getting better. The competition does breed excellence. The steel does sharpen the steel, and to Rob's point, you mentioned being inspired by this kind of stuff as a kid. Dude, that's why I collect toys now, because I literally wake up. I've converted my garage. I live in Miami, so I'm far from all the entertainment business that we work on. And so my house is my little outpost, and my garage I've converted to. My goal, I've always said, is to live in a Halloween toy shop. So like little by little, like I wake up in the morning, I come to the studio to get work done, and I'm like, fuck yes. Whatever it is, something that I've had for 5 years catches my eye for the first time in 3 years. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. And those feelings are so powerful that it's why we do what we do,
It is.
So do you guys find yourself looking for people's reaction? Like, I don't know, as artists or designers, like,
yes,
do you like get nervous when you're about to send something out, and then you like get on there to try to see people's reactions? That's something you guys find yourself doing?
100%.
Because that's also like why we do it. We want to. We're making it for fans, for customers. We want it is that dialogue of like putting something out there and you want to see what the response is.
It's like that feeling when you were a little kid, dude, and you wanted to make your mom a birthday card because you didn't have any money to buy jack shit. And then if you gave her the card and she's like, oh shit, this is, I mean, my mom didn't say oh shit, but like, just theoretically, like,
it's all right, it's all right.
I love it. You're like, oh hell yeah, I did it, right? And if sometimes you gave it at the wrong time and they're like, oh nice, you're like,
well, I'll tell you this.
Yeah, just being okay is not enough for us. Like we want to see people like just put I don't even want to see words. I just want to see emojis like that.
This is really cool, man.
Yeah.
Dude,
MacFarlane too. I didn't know that.
Wow.
I'll say two things to this point here. And I do have a couple more super chat guys. I know we'll get to you guys in a second, but two points to this is one, you guys watch shows. Clearly, right? So everybody out there who knows, man, people watch shows.
Yes,
people watch
100%.
us.
Everyone watches these channels. 100% confirmed.
Yeah. So there's for a lot of reasons, right? I mean, and I kind of joke about it sometimes, and I say, I'm like, why wouldn't people tune in? Because it's like free market research. I mean, people you get to see what's going on without having to do anything, but tune in and see the response. And then to the second point to that though, is that I have most people who watch my channel. I can't speak on everybody else's, but most people here, are more on the either Hot Toys or 3.0 or a little more leaning more towards the realism side of things, not so much and the response that everybody has said, like last week when we were doing the show, people in my Facebook group, my Discord server, this Skeletor has been being talked about like bundles, dude, and that again for my demographic, it's that's a testament. You're like, holy shit, like you guys are really this is an amazing looking piece.
Well, thanks, man. Yeah, and we know that Hot Toys and companies like that are killing it, like on shrinking down people. You know what I mean? Like that's literally what I think of it now. It's like a shrinking ray that they have, and they go zip. I still think it's a weird choice, but I still think the Episode 8 Luke Skywalker, the Hobo Luke, is one of the greatest figures I've ever seen in person, dude. And I wasn't even like a huge fan of the movie. Like I enjoyed parts of it and all that, like everybody else. But that figure is a masterpiece, dude.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, just the color, the balance, the textures, of course, the portrait, it's inspiring. So for us, and definitely when we're playing in the realism game, we know we got our work cut out for us, like 100%. But we also want to be in this side of things too, because if you're doing a toy that's based on a toy, like what is the realistic Skeletor model? Frank Langella? I love it for different reasons, but that's not what I want for my toy. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm down to have one, but that's not my ultimate Skeletor. You know, the ultimate Skeletor has to come from here, because where else does he live? He's like your memories, all the versions you've experienced. I mean, I thought the design, we did a design for the MOTU Revelation Skeletor, the 1/6 scale figure. I know that movie's controversial. I got it. But the figure fucking, like, it's insane. That figure is insane in person. Strongly recommend. And so but yeah, we know we're trying to occupy a space, a gap that was not filled, and that's the business 101 of it.
You're totally doing it too. I mean, because you're right, like how do you do that? Like you can't necessarily, like with Hot Toys, I get it, like, so for example, they're doing like the Clone Wars animated stuff, but they're making it in Hot Toys' style, right? They're going with the likeness of the actors, as best as they can. Some of them obviously weren't, like Ahsoka, but that's their style, right? They're like they're not going animated. Right. Whereas with you guys, it's like, well, wait a minute, well, how could we do it? Like we want to make it true to form or as close as possible, right? Like especially with this X-Men line and the Batman line, like that is the way you guys do it. The paint apps alone, it looks like it, like it has that cell shit. It looks like it's right out of the damn show, and that I think that's an appealing thing. That's
we're working with and we're working with some of the creator, like Dan Wiedenmeyer works with us on all our box art, where we're literally pulling animation frames or like the storyboards from the original cartoon, and that's our box art. It's like, yes, this is a love letter to that show, 100%. And
instead of like, as opposed to trying to nail like an actor likeness, you're trying to nail an artist's style. And a lot of these artists are like like Bruce Timm, extremely recognizable styles, and if it's off, it's it. Like, so it's just like you try to nail a famous likeness, like you're trying to nail that art style.
And it's just as obvious when you don't nail it, because you've seen this like the Batman. I mean, there's so many people who'll say, I'm in this camp, that the animated Batman, Kevin Conroy Batman, is the perfect Batman. Like to me, that's the perfect Batman. And it's like the Batman anime series is a perfect Batman depiction, like all the way through, And so how could you not want those figures to feel like they popped off the screen? Because that's the moment I want. Those are the details I want. That's the look I want. And then yes, I'm super stoked that I can get my Christian Bale, my Ben Affleck Batman from Hot Toys. Fuck yeah. But like in a world where we're always talking about multiverse anyway, like you can have, like, they all work together. Like they,
No, I agree. I do.
Rob's a big fan of the multiverse. I was watching some of his videos recently talking about how powerful the multiverse tool was for Marvel.
Wow.
Did I mischaracterize a little bit?
Well, look, there's nothing wrong with it. What's interesting is now you have three different. You've got Sony, you've got DC, and you've got Marvel all leaning into this multiverse.
Yeah, they're all going into that
at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think, it's really, to me, that's a really odd, kind of an odd way to go. I mean, I've been reading a lot of the 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗠. I've gone back to read the Hickman run on X-Men, and like hell, I would love to get a Hellfire Gala Warner Archive Hellfire Gala like Marvel Legends, or getting you guys to do 12-inch figures. I mean, no one's ever going to do that, but I think the 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗠 era of X-Men is the most interesting era of. I've been reading X-Men comics since the 70s, and the 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗠 I stopped reading because it was just variations on a theme.
Right.
But I think they could even do that, the 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗠 era, and bring that into the MCU. I mean, I would love to have seen the X-Men just emerge. They've been there the whole time.
Yeah.
And they immediately have beef with Avengers.
Yeah.
And you lead up to an X-Men. This multiverse thing ultimately is, I think, it's inconsequential because somebody dies, they're replaceable. And so
it's like
there's
the worst use of it.
Yeah. And there's inherently something wrong. And I knew that this was going to happen when I saw the Loki show. But not to derail the conversation. I mean, I think what's really interesting about what you guys are doing, like with the He-Man line of figures, it's still recognizable as classic He-Man. Like if you were to go back and you were to look at those first releases in '82, it honors those releases and yet still honors the best of the entire line. And like as far as He-Man figures goes, these Mondo figures might very well be the greatest He-Man figures ever.
Thank you, man.
I mean, but like, look at that Skeletor. The thought you honor different eras of like you said, you love seeing the metal when the metal would turn, and you've got a lot of that in there.
Yeah.
There's so much thought that's put into that line, and it only took 41 years to get there.
Right?
And I think
that's true.
Yeah, but I think that's what's really interesting about the people that are making the toys now. I wish people that were making Star Trek felt the way you guys do about He-Man toys as I feel about Star Trek, but that might
and
never
that's how
happen.
We are now. It's
but
insane.
that's the thing. And when you see companies that are making product that obviously you guys really, there's a lot of thought put into those toys. I mean, now I was reading an article today about how they're going to start using, like, AI can predict what's going to make a great popular song, because they're actually reading your brain waves and how you respond to music. And I'm like, yeah, but the problem with that is that everything becomes homogenized. If you had to explain to AI why that Skeletor figure is cool, AI would never understand, because the AI, predictive AI, can only do what's been done before.
Right.
Yeah, they wouldn't know.
And we're probably still a ways off from being able to do, like, on the, like on a dime, do an artist stylization, so like,
I don't think you could, because there's too much. And to see toy design, and that's one of the great things about where we've come in the last 20 years, is to see where toy design, because we've never had, like, the guys who made the He-Man toys originally, they were designing toys, but they were like these old dudes. They didn't grow up because there weren't those kinds of figures when they were kids. But now we've had, if you grew up, like I grew up in the Mego era, I first had 12-inch G.I. Joe Adventure Team stuff that was coming out of the 60s when the army wasn't cool because of Vietnam. Then G.I. Joe became Adventure Team. Then you had Mego, which your first great license figures, World's Greatest Superheroes, Planet of the Apes. Hell, they did a Wizard of Oz line, and you could get all those. And then Star Wars came out, and then everyone jumped on that bandwagon. So if you wanted an Ernest Borgnine figure from the Black Hole, you could get a 3 3/4 inch or a 12-inch figure, because kids love Ernest.
Well, shout out to Super 7, who's killing it on that line too. Because you can just get the weirdest stuff there. They just crushed today with their MF Doom figure. So congrats to that.
Oh yeah, and they're even doing 2001.
Yeah,
A Space Odyssey.
Oh, dude, I mean, the team at Super 7 goes in directions that no one else has gone and can go. They're so out there. Just love those guys. And that's the other thing that people should know, that we're all friends. So and that's the cool part of this business, is like, it's like, oh man, congrats on that thing. It looks so badass. Let me know if you have an extra one. Like, we'll send you one. And then I'm like, hey, look at that thing over there. And like, like, I'm gonna need one of those. So that's one of the perks.
Well, what's cool about Super 7 too is
people,
I was buying Super 7 t-shirts at Comic-Con 20 years ago before they were making toys.
Yeah.
They were celebrating design work.
And the zines.
And the zines.
Oh,
I have a slipcase Super 7 hardcover book.
Awesome.
That they put out.
Yeah, shout out Brian Flynn. That guy loves this business, man. It's always trying to do the coolest, raddest stuff. I sent you a top secret link that's not so top secret.
Yeah, I'll pull it up here in just a sec.
Real quick, can I ask a question real quick? Just because we got some people in the chats that have been repetitively asking. Actually, one of them is up right now. So when you guys are choosing what characters to pick next in your lineup, whether it's X-Men or He-Man, I know we got a lot of people who are Storm fans, like in the chats, like you see there. But what? Yeah, I do too. I'm a huge fan of Storm too. Rogue, all those characters.
Imagine the head sculpts.
Yeah, I know. But what is taken into consideration when choosing these characters, and why do some get picked over the others?
Well, like, I mean, to come out the gate with an X-Men animated line, you're gonna want to do Wolverine, right? And then being able to have that moment that you talked about, like that's obvious, right? And then maybe you can kind of guess like the second should be blank or whatever. Okay, but yeah, when it gets to the point where you're now in like, that run of characters, it really comes down to like where our individual hype is. Like, we're working on a character that we all love right now for the X-Men line, but Alex loves this character, right? And so
Alex, what's your favorite character?
No.
I love all the X-Men.
He loves them all.
I love Storm.
Yeah,
love them all.
It's gotta be Sinister. He's a sculptor, so Sinister is the most challenging to sculpt. So it's gotta be Sinister.
But that's how
Omega Red, one of those.
Yeah.
I love
like
Omega
that's how
Red.
it breaks down. Like the characters in the Masters side of things that we're probably gonna get to coming up based on what we've released. But like, I love to do Buzz Off. Like, I fucking love Buzz Off. I love Whiplash. I love Clawful. So like, when I get to have a vote, I'm always like the monster characters,
Hell yeah.
And then some people are like
kaijus.
Yeah, and so so like but it comes down to that. It's like, if we're gonna spend a year, sometimes more, working on a character, you gotta love it. So with a diverse team that we have, and everybody has different fandoms and different excitement points, we try to just see who is of everybody that we're hyped on, who is the most hyped about one character right now, and what character is it, and then we're like, fuck yeah, that's the one. Like, there's no like grand master plan. We probably won't go Wolverine, Magneto, Blob, right? But like, if you see what we've been putting out, Magneto, Jubilee was a wild card, because I don't think people would have expected her to come out so early.
I did not expect to see Jubilee.
Me either, yeah.
Right, but
I want to get her Magneto at the same time.
Right, and so you can probably imagine, if I gave you 10 guesses, you'd probably guess the next figure, because we're not trying to go so crazy yet. We want to build that line that Rob was talking about earlier, that tableau,
And we
Dazzler
do
next.
also, our ideas are also like informed by how well certain similar characters will do. So like, if we see in this certain line an obscure character doesn't do that's great, then maybe this other more obscure character won't, or this character's super popular over here, like probably like the best way to ensure that like a certain type of character that you really like continues to get made is to just support characters
of
like
course.
that.
Yes, that's exactly that. The better the line, like, we're gonna do it. Like, if we want to do something, we're gonna do it. Period.
Right.
Like, if we have a passion project, we're gonna do it, because we always think if we're passionate about this, we're not that different from everybody else. Other people are probably gonna be passionate about it for sure. But when it comes to like guaranteeing that we do every character in the line, well, then like, I would just say vote with your dollar. Like, if you're into it, pick it up, because
because if nobody's buying these, so you're like, well, we're not
after
gonna.
a while, it becomes hard to justify it.
Yeah, I agree. I do have Ruckamon Chris again. Thank you so much, man, for the $10 super chat. He says, once I laid eyes on Battle-Cat, I knew I was all in. Once Panther's released and I have Skeletor on him with the dragon, it's going to be beyond epic.
Dude, the Battle-Cat has articulated toes.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Like, what else is there?
Awesome.
Like, articulated toes, and he's the size of a cat, an actual house cat. I got to see him for the first time in person in November, and then I got to hold him and like, actually experience it just recently in Vegas, and it's like insane, dude. Panther
looking.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah, dude, those two together are gonna look awesome. FBJ, thank you so much as well, my man, for the super chat. Whose idea to do Wolverine 1/6 figure meme gold? That's a good
Pretty sure that was
question.
Hector and
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hector, who you got to have Hector on one day when he's back in town. But Hector, you know, he's the head of the toy department there, Hector Arce, and like just a hardcore fan like all of us. And sometimes the ideas can come from anywhere, but that idea, brilliant, came from that. And when he's told me about it, when they came up with the idea, they didn't think like this is gonna break the internet. It's gonna be like a meme of a meme, a figure of a meme becoming a meme. Like no one can break that. Right? But it's one of those moments where it's like, if you just have so much fun talking about it in a meeting, just probably follow that, because that's what we're trying to do, is kind of create these moments of joy. You know, what else is the point? What's the point of this? We spent a lot of money and a lot of time. You know, even these streams are proof of how much we love it. Like, if we're not going to follow that thread of joy, there's no point of doing this.
Exactly. No, I couldn't agree more. You have to have fun with it from both, you know, the production side into the fan side.
Correct.
I mean, everybody wants to have that great experience.
Well, I think that people underestimate the power of the joy that these things bring.
Yes.
You know, and what's really interesting is the more the merrier.
Yes.
1 is cool, but 2 is cooler.
100%.
You know, and there's to understand that it doesn't matter who a person is. If you have a great display and you bring somebody in a room where you've got a cool collectible display, everyone smiles.
It's such a good feeling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they might make fun of you wantonly later, but they'll drag you.
Usually the females.
But you gotta find one who supports to have it. Like, luckily, like my wife Gabby.
My mom, she collects her own stuff, so I'm
cool.
I made it out.
Hell yeah.
Good line.
She even encourages me to get certain things. Detour off. But Matt, my friend here, says, so I'm in the UK. Where can I order this from? I love this figure. Can we just direct right through the website, or
That's one thing I hear from a lot of people overseas. They say it's kind of hard to get the figures overseas sometimes.
Depends on the.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this one is shipping to UK, but
the product page will always list all the countries that we'll ship to.
Yeah, and free shipping to the UK, by the way.
Okay.
Come on.
Well, there you go.
Free shipping to the United States.
From your website?
Yeah, from mondoshop.com. It's like the first thing on the banner. We're doing free shipping from our website to anywhere in the States, Canada, UK, and the EU. So, and then we also do payment plans. So
let's go.
It's like, if you want it, we're making it as easy as we can.
One last real quick question on my end from the cartoon side. You already got Master Universe.
Yes.
You got X-Men. You got Batman. You said maybe Thundercats. A little hint.
I did not say that. You said
that. The only two missing, in my opinion, basically would be G.I. Joe and Silverhawks.
What about Spider-Man? 90s Spider-Man?
Well, I mean, that's more like Marvel. That's more the Marvel line. I'm talking about the cartoons. Like, I didn't watch.
I could tell you a bunch. Gargoyles. I could keep going.
Well, no, I know. But Deca does. I mean, I'm just
Johnny
saying, but like,
Quest.
Johnny Quest, son.
Come
there
on,
you
dude.
go.
There
you
go. We get the old school. But like, for those two, any
with
chance
a 6-scale jet, or at least a cockpit.
I'll
tell
Charlie
you
the
that,
Unicorn.
Yeah,
again, just real quick. He says Ghostbusters.
Oh, there you go.
We were just talking about that on Toy Anxiety with Charlie the Unicorn. If you're a big Ghostbusters fan, check them out. They're huge Ghostbusters fans. They have like a Ghostbuster episode every week or something. But yeah, please, like, that's one of my favorite toy lines as a kid, was the real Ghostbusters.
That's what I'm saying.
Line.
Could it be a real Ghostbusters? So that way it's
this is how I will honestly this is how I will honestly answer that question. And any other line you can bring up, for example, like, if we can get the rights to do it, and we think it'll be super exciting, and we are internally excited about it too, you know, because that's the thing. It's like, we have to be hyped. There are certain things that would hype me. Like, you know what I would really be hyped up for? A Toxic Avenger 1/6 figure. I don't know if anybody else wants that, but I would.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Well, the new movie's coming out.
I know. I'm so freaking hyped on it. So, but like, for example, you know, so anything's on the table. It's just a matter of like, you know, the ability to get to everything, and you know, and I saw something go by in the chat. I wanted to say JD 1983. Stay tuned, homie. I see
JD. I wanted to bring that up. I saw a couple people, and guys, forgive me, man. There's a lot of chat going on here. If I missed some questions, can't necessarily get to everything, but yes,
I know it's annoying, but stay tuned. And then once it's out, we can talk about it more.
So a stay tuned is good news.
It's good news.
Okay. It's not one of these limbo. Hey,
No.
well,
Good news.
It's not the P-Rock answer, but
It's not
What?
the.
What? I know, yeah.
okay.
Have you guys
Okay,
ever
'cause-
thought about doing like I would love to see some like a video game line, maybe.
Yeah. Well, we did Kratos.
Yeah, you did Kratos, and but I was like, whether it's Devil May Cry or whether
Yeah,
it's, I
Devil's
really
Kratos.
want Onimusha.
Oh,
I'd love to
Oh,
see,
wow.
love
you know, like
Onimusha so much.
Samanosuke,
dude.
or,
Mm.
you know, and then there's the monsters. I mean, it's weird. I don't know if people would
Dude.
dig it, but
Dude, I was so sure that PlayStation was about to announce a new Onimusha game just a few weeks ago. They did a whole, what's coming soon, and they started this trailer that looked like Onimusha 2, like 100%. And I was like, it's back. We're doing it. And it wasn't that. So I wonder about that line. I don't know.
It was that samurai game or something, right? I forgot the name of it that they showed off. It looks
Yeah,
cool,
it was
but
like,
because
there
I mean,
must be some rights issue there, because why wouldn't you bring that back? That IP is excellent.
it really
Yeah.
is, and I
Yeah.
love those 3 games. I mean, the
Perfect.
third
Yeah,
one
with
was a
Jean
little-
Reno.
yeah, the time trap number 3.
Yeah.
But
Dude.
I bought there's a great third party figure from Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
incredible.
bought it for my
game.
brother
Oh,
for Christmas. It's incredible.
Incredible. I have that, and
Yeah.
it just those kinds of things.
Metal
I-
Gear.
dude,
Metal Gear
I wanna
Solid.
do-
Woo.
I want to do
Oh, yeah.
Kurosawa 1/6 scale. And
Oh,
that,
And Mifune.
I know you
I
got
mean-
the older figures back there, but
I've got the Alfrex.
Yeah.
I got the Alfrex. I got the 7 Samurai. I got the Yojimbo. I got the Lone Wolf and Cub. But if you could do a samurai line, oh
Dude,
man,
I'll tell you, I'm be straightforward that I am always trying to get Kurosawa stuff for us, whether it's posters, figures. It's a tough one. It's a tough license.
yeah.
and-
Well, the Japanese, anything Japanese in general, is hard to do. I mean,
But it's Toho, and we have Godzilla. It's just that
Yeah.
it's tough. I'll just say it's super tough. But we're trying. Like, believe me, at any point, if you're wondering if we would want, there's licenses that we're desperate to do, and it's like, it's a journey. It's like a long battle back, and it's not a battle. Like it's like a building a relationship, and some people have the rights and could grant them, and they just go,
right.
and
Some
they're
just,
not-
yeah, they're
well,
not.
I mean-
and they're not giving it to other people. They're just like, nobody.
Well, it's like the rights to Blade Runner.
Yeah.
You know, where's the 6 scale Blade Runner line? Well, I
Yeah.
mean, everything I have is third party. Rick Deckard and the Replicants.
Yeah.
Where no one's ever been able to get that license.
No.
Rockaman Chris, interesting comment there too as well.
hey, any?
Are we talking about the Batmobile here?
Oh yeah, I was
I'm,
just
about to-
gonna
I'm-
ask
I'm just
that,
talking
man.
about vehicles.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
just,
I
I
was
literally
gonna
was just
ask
gonna
that,
ask
too.
that. Maybe a
That was on my list of
Blackbird or the
questions.
Batmobile.
Vehicles
nice.
are fun.
Oh man,
I said, 'cause you
Blackbird.
guys did the mounts. Any chance?
Yeah,
of
let's
vehicles
get
for
the
this
Blackbird.
anime?
You have to have the Blackbird, or
Oh, yeah.
even
That
better.
whole-
Professor X on wheelchair.
Hold on.
Professor X in the wheelchair.
No,
or
no, no.
just
I got
Regal's
one.
Blackbird?
I got one. Ready? The Cyclops Jeep that Wolverine tore the top off after punching him in the gut. Let's
That's
go.
a good one.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
a good
Or
God.
his
one.
motorcycle, right? I mean,
Yeah,
we could go
motorcycle.
on. We could go on.
Well, I would say this, and I'll go ahead and bring up the screen here in just a second. But I will say, well, as JB is wondering what's happening with John Carpenter line, as we kind of talked about a little bit, but that leads me into like looking at, okay, so you got all these animated things going on, a lot of different IPs, but now you've got other figures that aren't so not animated at all. So I mean, you guys can really have an opportunity here to kind of come in and be known for not just animated line.
Yeah.
You guys are you're mentioning how much of like the horror line you wanted to do and things like that. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity just out there, just waiting to be tapped. But I totally
Yeah.
understand too, coming from manufacturing point of view, is that can we get it all done as we grow? Maybe obviously the scale will grow, the company will grow, maybe we can tackle more projects, because I'm sure there's tons and tons of stuff out there that you guys want to do and that fans want to see. So
Yeah,
I get that.
100%, dude. Like, and it's like, it's one of those things that I hope that as we have these successes, like Skeletor's crushing for us, right? Like Battle Cat crushed for us, He-Man crushed for us. Like after having those kind of moments, and now with the support that we're getting from Funko, it's like the sky really is the limit. And it's going to take some time to get there. But the point is, showing those prototypes are already, it's basically saying like, yeah, we're coming in for this space too. But it's like what Rob was just saying, is like there's so many licenses that still haven't got the treatment. And you're like, how could that never have been made yet? And so when I look at my collection, I have mostly Star Wars Hot Toys. I have a few Marvel ones, and I have what I think is one of the best figures ever made. It doesn't necessarily reflect on the movie, but that Hellboy figure that Hot Toys put out, just a figure. I'm not trying to convince anybody of the movie, but the figure is excellent.
You talking about the David Harbour figure?
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it's gonna last with that skin, but it's amazing to behold. So, but yeah, my collection, the holes feel like I want the horror stuff. I want the 80s horror, schlocky action stuff. And because, Mondo has that audience that we've been building forever with those titles, we think we can go into and do a Gnada 1/6 scale figure and do MacCready with the monster pack. And so hopefully, we do get those. We do get the opportunity to shine in that area.
Well, I want both of those.
Me too.
Like 100, because that's going with all my. That's it. There is a market for that. There's 100% a market for that out there.
I want a cartoons Teen Titans, man. You guys gotta do that too.
There we go. There we go.
Which era?
The original ones.
He wants Teen Titans Go.
No, not the Go. Not the Go. No, the original one. The original Teen Titans.
Well, you had just gone ahead and sent me this link here.
Yes.
Wow.
So we've got a Beastman prototype here.
Yeah, we showed this off at Licensing Expo, and it was not necessarily meant to leak, but we embraced the leak. And you can see Hector there in the bottom left showing it off, and we were on another stream recently on Toy Geeks over at Geek Dad Life. And so this is
quite large. Is he holding that?
Yes, he's holding that. It's a big boy. Now this prototype is 5% bigger than the actual one will be. It's like a paint. It's like it's a prototype too, and then it'll get molded and it shrinks down, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's gonna be a large figure. And again, we were talking about Clayface earlier. We're not scared to go there with the big stuff. We're not scared to go because Beastman. This thing is massive, dude. And it's part of that idea that if we get to design, like Mattel's been so good to us, Mattel's let us really go hard in the He-Man. We haven't even shown off one of the craziest accomplishments, hopefully at PowerCon. If any of you guys go to PowerCon, we'll have a really great announcement there. But they've been so good at allowing us to explore the characters from the ground up, and conceptualize them the way we see them. Like we always talk about, unofficially, if we were the concept artist on the next He-Man movie, this is what we would present, this kind of idea. So it's still true to the character. It's Beastman when you see him. The colors are there, the accessories are there, but it's just dialed up all the way to 11 to kind of be able to stand next to some of those great figures you have in the collection. So Beastman hopefully is just a sign that we're down to go hard on this stuff.
Yeah, I'll tell you this: the colors. You guys have nailed this color palette, man, across the board so far with everything I've seen. I mean, even obviously X-Men and Batman, but looking at the Masters line, it's like the colors are just spot on.
And shout out Mark Bristow, who painted our Skeletor and has done a lot of our paint work for us. He's amazing,
dude. It is amazing, so guys. And that's good to know that he's going to be a little smaller because I know some people
5%. He'll
No, that's good though.
We're not worried about the Detolf, if everybody's asking. I'll tell you what, I got Thanos, and I had to get one of those weird half shelves for my Detolf, and I made it work. So we're not worried about that. You figure it out.
Hell yeah, Beastman eats rooted hair. That's what that would be. That would be crazy. P-Rex nah, I'm good on the root. No, that is awesome, dude. That is awesome.
Yeah, and then some of those photos, I think if you scroll down, you can see some of the details.
Oh, we do. Look at that. I didn't even scroll. Look at this, guys.
Yeah, you keep going down.
Can I ask one quick question, though?
Yeah, of course.
All right, so from all the lines I have so far, for some reason, you guys do the better bases with the Batman, the animated series. And then
we got new bases coming out for...
I'm about to say, because the X-Men are blank. They should at least have the X-Men logo.
We got new bases coming out for everybody.
All right, good.
With Logan, we'll have new bases for sure.
Wow.
That's
Look at that face. That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗘 was the sculptor here, and he knocked it out of the park.
It's just so crazy to see it in person.
Yeah, this looks crazy cool.
The paint ops on that face are great too.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
curious what the accessories are gonna be.
Well, we're gonna have to stay tuned for that one, P. Rock. I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure.
But the
Dude.
other head sculpts are insane. They're so good. I can't wait for you guys to see those. This is just so much nostalgia. This is just one of those things where it's like the original Beastman was the same height as all the other characters, you know, and but in my head it's like Beastman should be like big, bro. He's like the Beast, you know. It's like weird.
It's kind of like the movie, like if Jim Henson did Beastman in like a 90s movie.
Yes,
Right.
That's exactly what we think about with this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Damn. Do we have any? It is large.
A little
I like
smaller
it.
than that.
I know, but still. I was seeing
Yeah, I
if
can
there's
see
any other
Clayface
photos,
like that.
dude. But that's to your point, though, right? I mean, you're making a large figure.
Yeah.
Therefore, the capacity, the capability is there for, you know.
And again, the entry to the Batman animated line that we're going to show at Comic-Con is going to make this look small.
Oh my god, man! See,
Killer Croc.
it has to be some. It has to be a bigger character, bigger than, or around the same size as Clayface.
But he said no Clayface.
No, I know, but he
It's
says
not-
he says
told you that.
Clayface is my favorite, by the way. So
it is my
believe me,
favorite. That's why
me too.
I'm like, oh.
Me too. I want to get to. We're gonna get to him for sure. But
No, but he said like when you see this one, you can see that Clayface is accomplishable. Like they can do Clayface, so it's got to be the same size around Clayface.
Man Bat.
Oh yeah, he was in the cartoon. You're right.
Yes, he was.
Okay. I do have a $5 super chat. Mega Supremo,
It's gotta
thank
be
you
Killer
so
Croc,
much.
so I have to
Says
agree with Killer Croc.
Mondo and 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗘 collab for toy shelving confirmed tonight. That is awesome. That is awesome. Thank you so much for the super chat. Rocketman Chris says it's gonna be a vehicle. Says it like so many times. I know. Vehicle, that would be really cool.
I'm not referring to a vehicle for Batman. I'll give you that hint.
Okay, so no vehicle and not Clayface.
That's all I'll say.
You guys are Tigress fans, right?
Ooh.
From the Tiger episode.
Guys, you guys are just gonna give it away. You're gonna give it away right now, aren't you? I'm gonna look it up.
I think it's
Everybody's all like clicky.
Yeah.
Wow. No, that's cool. I mean, people are gonna be super excited. I know P-Rock, you've got Batman, you've got Joker.
Dude, I'm all in on the Batman. I grew up with Batman and X-Men every Saturday. I know Batman wasn't on Saturdays, but I know X-Men was on Saturdays. I grew up
Saturday 10 a.m.
every freaking morning. I had my Captain Crunch with me, and I had my freaking. I was ready for it. So I'm all in on the Batman and X-Men. The He-Man I wasn't, like I said, but that Skeletor got me, man. So I definitely have to pick up at least get a He-Man to go with that Skeletor.
Right.
Maybe I'll go from there on the He-Man. But I'm definitely in for
just
the
start
X-Men.
there. Don't get crazy. Let's
Yeah.
see how it
Yeah,
feels,
you know, look, I told myself that I'm just gonna stick to X-Men, but well, I'll definitely get Skeletor, but I'll have to kind of leave it. Well, I don't know, you know, it's hard, right? Because we do that even as other properties. You're like, well, I'll get this one. That's gonna be pretty cool, and then you're like, shit, I'm in.
That's like the accessories, because the accessories make it take so many different. You got fun with the pictures, actually fun with the figures, man.
It's so fun to unpack these. Look, I love my Hot Toys figures, and I still say it's just the shrinking ray they have over there is but it is so fun to unpack a Mondo figure, dude, because there is so much in that box. I just want to put that out there. It's like, if you're considering it, just get a Mondo figure. You could get from the X-Men line, from the Batman line, from the He-Man line. They all scratch that itch. Like, just to unbox a Mondo figure, you're gonna see like the Joker, all the Joker fish that we put in there, and the bombs, and there's.
And the
I
box
said that
itself too. It's
the
like
box
shout out
itself.
to our packaging team. Like they're just
this
beautiful.
box of Wolverine laying down. This is crazy.
right.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
I did an unboxing of the Joker, and I said as I was unboxing it, I was like, man, like every accessory you pull out reminds me of an episode.
Exactly.
It
That's
brings
the
back
point.
the memory of an episode. Like,
We
the
just
Hot Toys
had
are
that.
cool. You bring out like a little mechanism. Oh yeah, it comes with this gun. It comes with this. It
Yes.
comes with this. But when you bring out the Mondos, like, damn, this brings me back to that episode. Oh wait, I remember this episode. I think I remember.
Yes.
Like, it just brings back that memory.
It's pretty cool. I mean, did you guys see the that reveal of your booth at Comic-Con today?
Well, yeah, we had already seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anybody here saw it. It was.
I haven't seen
I
it
haven't.
yet.
I didn't see it
It's
today.
what you guys are. That's some insane.
They're
that's
literally
insane.
building a city within the convention.
Yeah, the Funkoville.
Yeah.
And Mondo has its own
Oh yeah,
building.
Funko goes.
It
they
looks
go
like
hard.
a Texaco gas station. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, we've done stuff with Funko. They take us
Funko
back there to
goes
do a
hard.
booth tour with them, and it's literally 2 buildings.
Are you guys
Funko
going
lounge
to the
size,
convention? Any of you guys?
Oh yeah.
I am
I'm
not.
only
I
going
know
to
we
New York
got some
Comic Con. I'm
friends that
East
are going.
Coast. I'm East
Wait,
Coast.
say-
I go to New
wait.
York Comic Con.
Oh,
New York
Rob, you're
Con-
going to San Diego?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
it'll be my 35th Comic-Con.
Rob,
Oh,
come
shit.
by the booth.
Oh, oh, for sure.
Okay. All right.
I will.
Cool.
I don't know if I'll ever be able to get inside.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
that
yeah,
booth.
yeah. And we
But-
can look
but,
up. Nah, you'll be
uh,
fine.
yeah,
Well,
we'll have to put-
Hector and I will be there in the front. So if you just find us, we'll bring you in.
It's pretty.
So you guys
neat.
would be at New
I've
York
never
Comic-Con?
seen anything quite like this Funko presence at Comic-Con before.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
insane.
Enormous. I guess.
Yeah, and-
I guess with people like Sideshow, they're filling in where Sideshow's skipping the convention.
yeah, that was pretty wild news. I can't remember Comic-Con before Sideshow being there. I mean, I
Me
went
neither.
in 2002 for the first time, and it was just such an incredible presence.
Yeah. and
Well, I
it
think
just
they're
got-
looking at it like they could just.
Yeah.
I don't know, but maybe
Right,
they're
right.
looking at it like, well, we'll just do a virtual con and
Yeah.
save some money.
They're making
but,
a lot of money. That's why.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
but-
they have a good science. I'm sure.
But I think I was a little off track, but I think like one of the big reasons for doing these cons and paying those premiums for these booths is because you're getting a much broader potential audience. Whereas if none of us knew about Sideshow and their website, how are we going to search for them and find this event that they're doing virtually, right? But if we went to a Comic-Con for whatever XYZ reason and then we run into the booth, right? Like people are going to run into you guys and be like, whoa, what is this?
Yeah.
There's going to be people who've never heard of Mondo.
Yeah.
There's going to be, and then you're going to
Yeah,
get
of
potential.
course.
So that's why I don't know what the
maybe
decision was.
Yeah, and we have a lot of friends over there, you know, and you know, Aaron, you know, just a ton of great friends over there, and so I think everything's calculated surely.
Sure, yeah.
And I think they're you know, they're always figuring out great new ways to do stuff. So I always try to learn from like as much as I can from everybody's moves. Like, why do this? That's interesting. What is that going to yield? What does this mean? Maybe 10 years from now, no one's at a physical Comic-Con. I don't know.
And that's what I'm
Like,
Oh,
scared
I'll be
of.
so mad, man.
I
I'll be
like
so
going.
scared.
Like people were saying, oh, all the movie studios pulled out of Comic-Con. I'm like, dude, I don't go to Comic-Con for movie studios. No, I mean that's awesome that those.
Yeah, I mean
announcements
that's for
come
a
out.
different reason, though.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
But
to
I'm
hang out and
saying,
talk to people you don't see.
Yes.
All year.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yep.
and-
That's
and-
my
and
favorite part.
to be honest, it's been harder and harder to see people because everything is so spread out. It's gotten
Yeah.
so big,
Yes.
and maybe in a way that Comic-Con could use the contraction, you
Yeah.
know, because
Last year, go ahead, Rob.
Oh no, I was just saying it's just gotten to the point where I think it's too unruly. It's not as much fun as it used to be.
No, it's
Yeah.
not the same. It's
Yeah,
not-
some of the
still love
smaller
it, man. I still love
conventions
it.
are. I mean, I
They're
love
better.
Comic-Con too. Like,
Me too.
I get there's so much work that we're doing right now to get ready for Comic-Con. It's unreal, and I just know once I'm crossing that train track into the convention center, I don't give a fuck anymore, dude. You know what the best part about Comic-Con is? I'll give you a quick story, like why I fucking love Comic-Con. Last year was the first year I went back, you know, since the pandemic, you know, and 2019 was the first time I went as a professional artist, and it was just a game changer for me. And last year on the way to the show, we're packing, getting ready. I told Gabby, my wife, I go, you know, I've met so many amazing creators and all my favorite artists. I've met Frank Miller and Mike Mignola, and just like, it's almost to the point where there's no one left that I'm like, I hope I bump into, except one person. I've never met Todd McFarlane. Like, I've just never got to meet Todd McFarlane. And I mean, I used to practice writing my name like Todd McFarlane in grade school, you know? So like, he's such a formative part of my youth. Like, I stood in line for Spawn #1 as a 10-year-old, you know? So whatever. And I just said it out loud in our bedroom while we're packing our suitcases. Like, that'd be cool. Maybe it'll happen. I can't afford to spend time in a line to meet him, although I would. I just don't have the time right now. But it would be awesome. And so we went to LA first, actually, to do Christian's show, Rob,
Right.
in LA. And then on the way to San Diego, we got on a train and we're sitting in the train. I'm showing off stuff online, blah blah blah. And Gabby goes, "Oh, I'm hungry. Go get a snack from the snack cart." So I walk up towards the snack cart, literally get to the next car, and I'm walking by, and sitting down in the chair next while I'm walking by is fucking 𝗕𝗘𝗥𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗘 sketching on his iPad with his mask on, so you wouldn't know. And a kid next to him who must have been like 20 years old, no idea who 𝗕𝗏𝗪𝗏 is. And he's sitting with him on this whole ride. And I literally go, 𝗕𝗏𝗪𝗏? and he looks up, he's like, yeah, hey. Oh my God. I said, fuck snacks. I ran back to my car. I just happened to have my backpack full of like this Takaro figure I had designed, for Skybound and some of the comics that I had just done for Image and Skybound, where I did the alternate covers. I grabbed all my shit. I go, dude, let's talk, and I just sat down next to him and we spoke for an hour and a half. And
Wow.
it was mostly him talking the whole time and giving me all this, like, I just basically told him, like, dude, what can you tell me? I'm on this path. This is my career right now. You always said online and all these conventions on all your YouTube presence is like, where's the next guy going to come out and steal the fucking torch from my hand? Like, he says that shit, super motivational. I love it. I get so hyped from it. And I'm like, yo, I'm coming for your torch, bro. So just let me know what are the steps that I got to take, so I can come for that torch. And so we just talked, the nicest guy you could ever fucking meet. And that's Comic-Con, dude. Like, it's a serendipitous thing. So we get off the train. By the way, I had abandoned my wife for an hour and a half to talk to 𝗕𝗏𝗪𝗏. Understood. She gets it. I get off the train and I go, Gabby, wait, because when 𝗕𝗏𝗪𝗏 comes off, I'll introduce you to 𝗕𝗏𝗪𝗏. How fucking cool is that? And she goes, leave him alone. You fucking talked his ear off for 90 minutes. And I go, it wasn't me talking. And so then, but Mike, you're right. Let's just walk away. Let's go on. And we're walking off the trains. And all of a sudden, I hear the sound of a roller luggage at full speed. And out of breath man starts to yell, hey, there's that cool guy with the cool toy. And 𝗕𝗏𝗪𝗏 is chasing me to like catch up, to walk with me to the where we're gonna get our Ubers. And Gabby's like, no fucking way. And so now it's like 𝗕𝗏𝗪𝗏 with his luggage, and he's carrying his dry cleaning like on over his shoulder on hangers. And so he's cracking up, he's making jokes, he's the funny guy. And suddenly his suitcase from like 1987 falls apart. His dry cleaning falls apart all over the floor. And so suddenly Gabby and I go into like, oh, this is no longer the creator of Spawn and some of the greatest pieces of art of all time. This is like dad, and now we got to take care of him. So like we help him put his luggage back together. We get his laundry, and now he's trying to catch a taxi in this place where there's no fucking taxis. It's all Ubers. And so he's like, okay, guys, nice to see you, whatever, nice to meet you. I'm gonna get a taxi. And we go, oh man, nice meeting you, but also you're not gonna be able to get a taxi here. And he's like, yeah, I'll get a taxi. I'm like, okay. So he's out on the curb. Now get this part. This is the fucking epic quest.
I can see that.
He's on the street corner, and he's trying to hail a cab. Like, and then no one's coming. I'm like, hey, we're gonna get an Uber. You want to come with us? We're going to the same place. Like, no, I don't do Uber. My daughter tried to get me to do Uber. I don't fuck with Uber. It's too much. Let's get a taxi. I'm like, okay. So we're just waiting for the Uber. It's almost here, and he's still like this, like with his thumb. And I go, dude, you're not gonna get a taxi. So he goes, oh, I'll get a taxi. So he puts his leg out and rolls his pants up to show his leg. There's no taxis. I go, that's not gonna work. There's no taxi. He goes, oh yeah. And he pulls his shirt up and he shows his bare nipple to the whole street. And of course, no taxi. So our Uber pulls up and we're like, all right, man, I'm last chance. Like, okay, I'll go with you. And so we get to our Uber and we take 𝗕𝗏𝗪𝗏 in an Uber to Comic-Con. And it was just the most surreal experience of all time. That's Comic-Con. That's why I like to know.
That should be on the brochure.
Yeah, that is
exactly.
No kidding.
In New York Comic-Con, he's always in the crowd. Like, he's doing drawings in the crowd and like passing them out to people. Like, he's awesome, man.
Well, he lives out here. I'm in Arizona, so
sick, yeah.
Yeah, and so I worked at a comic book store down the road here for like 10 years. And pretty much, I mean, I didn't own it, but I was pretty much running it at that point, for a while. Like, and he would come in all the time, dude. Like, cool guy. I mean, cool guy. I've always looked up to him, man. So he'd come in, do signings, just hang out, stuff like that. Maybe in this side of town, he just pops in. You're like, oh, look, Todd's in the store. Like, how cool? Like, it's just cool.
It's cool when people who have that kind of tenure and like portfolio and track record are still get what this is, you know what I mean, and are down to celebrate it with all of us, and that was just a great fucking moment. It felt like my hero's journey had an Obi-Wan moment. I was main character energy in my life right there, and I was like, Obi-Wan just showed up, you know.
No, that's such a great. That had to been like surreal for you at the time. Jedi Crystal, thank you so much, man, for the $5 super chat. It says, hey Mondo, any intel on the next wave of Mondo Marvel Steelbooks, and any plans of Sony's Venom Spider-Man Mondo Steelbooks?
Nothing specific I can say right now, but we are still super interested in that.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Jedi Chris.
We love the Steelbooks.
Give you some kind of idea. Something's coming. So
yeah.
No, guys, this I mean, is there any Rob or Miguel P-Rock? Do you have any other questions? Anything on the
We're always
mind?
down to come back, by the way. Like, you know, we just wanted to partially, the goal in doing this is to say we're here and we love your shows and we love watching them, and
to appreciate it.
We watch all of it. Like, I mean, I specifically, like, I was just watching Robservations before the show started. So like, you know, like we're fans of it all. And so before, it was tough for many reasons that I won't go into, to be able to just say, hey, you know what? We got a figure coming out. Let's go fucking party with these guys and like talk toys, because there's something to talk about here. And but now we can, and so we're happy to come on as whenever you'll have us. We'll happy to come on
anytime. I mean, would you have, you know, I mean, obviously
we could do a Comic-Con download after Comic-Con.
Dude,
that would be
do stuff like that. And when you got some new announcements all the time, more than welcome. Anytime. I'd love to have both of you guys. Anytime.
Yeah.
Do you have release dates on those Carpenter figures?
Not exact date, but we are one of them. We're trying to figure out which one we're gonna put out first at the moment, but one of them will come out this year to order.
Nice.
To order. Okay.
Is the Harley is still coming shipping on time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll say this. One of my favorite things, just to like hit this because it's important, is that we don't solicit anything until we have the painted prototype. Like we don't, there a lot of companies do things differently. We just want to make sure we have the physical painted prototype in hand so that we can kind of close that gap. Like, I remember waiting a long time for Endgame Cap, and he was worth the wait.
But we waited a long time. A great figure.
Great figure, maybe the best.
Sometimes things you wouldn't expect can cause a delay with a figure, but we're always like, it's with us, it's not usually production.
No, right. Yeah. And so the goal is that once you, like, for example, right now, I think we're saying with Skeletor is it should ship in November. So we're in June, right? We're at the end of June, almost July. So that's a short window compared to, you know.
Yeah, 4 or 5 months. I mean, that's a quick. Yeah, that's quick.
Yeah. So, you know, that's one thing we pride ourselves on. Like, it makes it a little riskier because you're not taking pre-orders before the production of things happen, but we're confident, you know, that the stuff's it's going to sell itself, I think.
Oh yeah. We didn't even talk about this. I mean, can we briefly?
Yeah.
Can we briefly talk about this?
I'm going to sleep under this desk, so don't even worry about me. Like,
all right. I don't know.
Wait till you hold it in your hand. It's such a fucking monster,
dude. I am a huge.
Is that the regular one or the?
It's the regular one. The time one sold out already.
Yeah.
I missed it. Not gonna lie.
I missed it.
I missed the time one. I mean, but
but you know, to be fair, I think you. Oh man, I think you guys did a great job. Just looking at this is what I want. This is what I want. Like,
these photos are literally what you were talking about. Like, you know, this is what we would drool over as kids, is like the photos of the figures in the, and it just feels like, I don't know, man. It feels like
this is like episode 5, I think. Was it episode 5? It was like one of the early episodes, first season.
It feels like someone took my X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like someone took my Toy Biz toys and dumped the turtle mutagen onto them.
Yes. Like, oh my god.
Put that on the box.
There you go.
You know,
they're so fun to pose. Yeah.
I thought about that too with this particular figure, and that's not to take away from it. I'm trying to see if I can go back to it. I don't want to skip through so quickly, but the main, and I talked about this on my show not that long ago, like not too much of a difference for Sabertooth, for me anyway, where I didn't feel like, oh shit, I had to get the timed exclusive. Right.
And that's the cool thing about it. Like, you know, sometimes people are just looking to do a single like figure representation. They're not going to have 50,000 accessories in their display. Like I collect like that. I don't have every accessory out on my display. So for me, I'm probably good most of the time on certain regular editions. I just, with Skeletor, I just trying to like say, just think about it. If you're gonna get it, just
no, that's loaded, bro. No, I'm with you. That's, you know, Skeletor.
And this is the same guy who told you, go to NECA, get those quarter scale figures. I'm not like some shill. I'm just saying, like, the Skeletor one will hurt some people later. I don't want, I just know it. And every time we do a timed edition, like our He-Man timed edition was 24 hours. And so, you know, after that, there were people like, fuck, I missed it, or it wasn't enough time, or and understandable. Yeah, like if you have a fucking
what was the decision?
No, the only one I'm mad about. I'm sorry,
did you think? No, I'm just
well, no,
wondering.
it was just
24 hours is like nothing.
Yeah, because remember we were moving from actual limited editions, and so we said, well, if it's a timed edition, like that should be everybody who wants it to get. What little did we know that there was way more demand, even at that one that sold like gangbusters. And which is why now you find us a year or so removed, we're doing a 10-day window, you know?
Yeah. Because wasn't it, what was, and forgive me, I don't remember, but it was fine. Shortly after He-Man, right? That I don't remember what figure, but you guys extended one too, didn't you?
Yep. I'm pretty sure we did. I can't remember exactly, but you know, She-Ra was a little longer, and then, you know, we did other figures that were a little longer, and then now, and to be totally honest, we're trying to like nail that. Like maybe like every time we do one of these, we look at the data and we're like, was this good? Was it worth, you know, like extending it, or was it not long enough? And, you know, those kind of things are what we try to figure out. Not that there's some like weird, like, we figured it out, but you want to be able to give everybody the time, but also not make it like just live on the site forever. Because,
well, do you feel like maybe what you would do is,
I would go back and do a 10-day window on He-Man if you're asking.
Yeah, so this is just my opinion, and just real quick, Red in the Ledger. Yes, the standard Skeletor does not have the fabric cape.
It's the fabric cape and hood are exclusive to the timed edition.
So when you say 10-day window, is a 10-day window to when it sells out, or 10-day window of?
So well, yeah, like right now we put it up last Tuesday, and so from last Tuesday to this coming Friday, if you want the Skeletor, you can get it.
Because I thought Gambit was the same thing, and Gambit sold out before I think the window, didn't it?
We did a shorter window probably. This is the first time we've done a
that's one I missed out on. I'm mad about. I was like,
yeah.
I thought it was gonna be a 10-day.
Mega Suprema.
I love that. Billy Mays. Yeah, but wait, there's more.
Well, you know what it is like I've just been there. Like I slept on the first Toxic Avenger Crusader figure that Super 7 put out, their Ultimates line. I have all the reaction figures. But I slept on the Ultimates. I'm like, I got a bunch, but then sure enough, the unboxing started happening, the reviews are happening, like, and then there's only like the glow in the dark version or the weird one that changes colors, which is cool, but I wanted the one, and so I had to go online and like use my Instagram followers. I felt bad, but like, guys, anybody who has it, I will trade you original art for it, and I got one. But
I don't feel bad. That's a trade.
I know it's true. And nowadays I'm just like, if I'm not sure, probably just gonna pre-order it. I've canceled a pre-order in the past. I've done it. You know, no shame in it. But most of the time, if I'm not sure, I'm just gonna grab that thing and then maybe sell it, maybe not, whatever. But
well, that's the thing, is you can sell. I mean, the accessories, man, as I'm sure you guys all know, like the accessories alone,
you probably just break them off and sell them if you want
on the app.
Yeah.
Market, so.
Oh, of course they do. Of course. I mean, and that goes, I mean, across the board. I mean, there's, I mean, people don't get that. Like doesn't matter what the figure is. You can take Thor and sell his Mjolnir hammer for like $50-$60, or you know, people like accessories alone. Yeah, they're a huge part of this hobby. And Charlie, dude, this, exactly. Photography is awesome. I don't know.
Yeah, this is cool. This is from like the Cold Vengeance episode of the animated series.
Yeah. And yeah,
Well,
and
he's-
it's just like Raul, like just again, just so like his range, he can do that 90s X-Men animated style, color, lighting, but you can also
That's what,
do the
yeah, dude, it
MOTU
captures
stuff,
it.
like,
It captures it. It captures
I mean,
it.
this
So-
shot, that shot in particular with the red and
With the red?
like
Yeah.
that is
That's
just
so
that
dope.
is X-Men
Looks
to
like a
me.
cover.
Yeah, I think that was awesome. Oh, that's what I was saying. I'm sorry. So, just an opinion, because I know you're trying to, you know, like you said, trying to find that spot. But would it be beneficial if it was almost like standardized, where you're like, hey, here's an announcement, 14 days, and like that's a wrap, like a static
Might be.
every or
It
10
might
day
be.
or, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
then
totally might be, and I think that's part of this is to see, because this was an experiment, and the goal of this one is to give. It was really like to be populist, you know, to say some people get paid on this Friday, some people get paid on that Friday. So just because you cover a Friday doesn't mean you were considerate to the people who get different paychecks, you know, on different days. And we get those comments, and we get that in customer service, and we read all that shit. And so that this time around was like, hey, let's just try a 10-day window. Maybe it's too long, maybe it's not long enough, but at least we addressed these comments that we've got in the past to consider that not everybody gets paid in the window of time that we're releasing a figure. So it's just honestly trying to react to what feedback we're getting, you know.
Yeah.
But it's not set in stone. All suggestions are welcome, and we do listen, and we do go over them in our meetings, and we're like, what about this and what about that, and then we just experiment based on that information.
no, and I think that's all you can do, right? Because like you
Yeah.
said, when you did He-Man, you're like, oh shit, I guess 24 hours is too
Yeah.
short.
Yeah, and we thought that was like, maybe it was a crazy idea, like maybe it wasn't gonna warrant the 24 hours, but like I said, we even then we undershot it. So going forward, it's just like I said, we're a tiny toy team, but we're tenacious, and we're, you know, we have our ears to the ground. We're in all the groups. We listen to the shows. We watch the reviews. We hear everything, even if it's like sometimes it's a shitty ass comment just to be a dick. Still listen to it. Still listen to it, because there might be something in there that's, you know, even though the message is salty, the message is still valuable. So, and as a fan, I have those feelings, but sometimes on this side of it, you get so close to it that you,
Right.
like I said before, you can't think, unfortunately, always like a fan. You're just so, it's a weird thing. So it's valuable to get that, but just so everybody who's watching knows, we listen, throw out comments, all that, like, and we're always trying to like do our best, even if we slip up, if we have like the QC issue one time or two times, you know, everybody got a new Shearer head. Even if you didn't have a defective Shearer head, you got a brand new Shearer head.
Right.
So we just said, fuck it, throw it out there.
Yeah,
you
well,
know?
and that's commendable.
Yeah.
Like seriously, like across the board. Because I remember hearing
Yeah.
about that. You're just like, hey, listen,
Yeah.
here you go.
Yeah, it was something that we couldn't control. It was like a super random thing about the heat on when the trucks were bringing the boxes over, and then they were laid flat instead of vertically, and it was like nobody could have stopped this. It was such a fucking fluke. But, you know, nonetheless, it's not your fault. You just pre-ordered a fucking She-Ra figure that looked badass, so we just everybody got a She-Ra head, no questions asked. You didn't have to even file a complaint. You just got one.
You just got one.
Well, listen,
No.
I know we appreciate you. I know the community
brother.
appreciates you guys being on and you know, connecting with them, because that's something big for companies to do. Not a lot of companies do it, and the fact that you guys are doing it, and the fact that you guys are, you know, interacting with not only YouTubers but with the, you know, the fans and your customers, that's really big. That tells a lot, you know, about a company.
course.
So definitely kudos to you guys, and we really
Thanks,
appreciate
brother.
you guys.
Yeah,
being
for
on.
sure.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thanks,
You guys have been
guys.
very talkative too,
100%.
compared to other companies. Or just we'll get back to you on that. We'll get back
Well,
to you.
I'm
You've
getting
been a
fired
little
tomorrow,
more-
probably.
No,
for
no,
running.
No, I think
I'll
you'll
be
be fine.
becoming
I mean, you
a
only told
regular.
us like the next 3 figures through
Yeah,
deductive
whatever.
reasoning.
Yeah.
You should be all right. You should be all right.
Yeah, but they didn't confirm them, so they have
Yeah, you
I
didn't
didn't say
confirm.
anything.
You're fine. You did
Plausible
confirm that.
deniability.
I didn't even
confirm.
address certain questions. I was like this.
Yeah,
I know. No, you got a good poker face. Better than Rob.
I'm gonna start
When I
wearing
asked Rob some
sunglasses like
things, he'd be
P-Rod.
like,
there you go.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
You got hide a
I
lot.
tease. I tease. But Charlie, the real quick says, does Mondo do wait lists? It's a good question.
I don't think so. I don't think we have that.
No.
You know, every once in a while, if we have, like, we hold back some stock for QC or whatever it is, of course.
Sure.
But you know, eventually we go through that, and then usually what we do is at PowerCon, if we have some stuff that the window has passed on QC, everyone's got their figures, everyone's chilling, then we'll bring out a few of those like at PowerCon, as like just to like, because we know that there's some hardcore fans that go to PowerCon, which I'm going for the first time this year. I'm super stoked. I don't know if you guys go, but I heard it's an awesome show. Yeah,
I went a couple years back. It was pretty great.
Yeah, I'm stoked on it.
Oh yeah, that is awesome. But guys, in the chat, everybody who's still watching, man, thank you guys so much for coming in and tuning into us tonight. But Instagram, I put both Peter's and Alex's Instagram in the chat for you guys. Of course, the website as well if you have not.
Yeah, if you're a toy fan and you're not following Alex's Instagram, you're crazy. It's Fanplastic4. It's like just a toy fan dream. The stuff that he's mocking up there, just like what if stuff, you know, and just a great photography on it. So yeah, you got to be checking it out. And then my artwork.
If you're a fan of life and you're not following,
if you're a fan of life,
on Instagram,
I'm a fan of life. That's
it's pretty good. Life. Yeah, and
it's not bad.
I got a YouTube channel as well, Attack Peter, here on YouTube, and we do a live stream where I carve blocks like from scratch, like this one. We'll just take a character, so I do a carve Skeletor from start to finish. You know, it's carved up, and then I run the print off of it, which is my. So we'll just run a print right off of it.
Wow, that's great.
So it just shows it like start to finish on the stream while my wife Gabby and I talk about all the nerdy news, you know, that's coming out. So it's a fun hang. Cool. And I release my artwork there as well. We're doing my copies of the Thing poster tomorrow night.
Now, where is this? Is this
on YouTube? Attack Peter.
I just put a link in the chat right now in the public chat.
Oh, you're the man. Yeah, Attack Peter on Instagram and YouTube. Check us out. Small channel, but it's a fun hang, and it's like been
just subscribed. Steadily. I didn't know you had a channel.
You're the man.
Yeah, my Instagram.
I expect 6 new subscribers minimum after this.
You should get 6 new subscribers. You're at 2.48K subscribers. I mean, everybody who's sticking through here,
they're
not going to not subscribe.
One word, Attack Peter. One word, right?
Yeah, altogether, it's a mess. It's a garbage truck on fire. But we learned how to stream during the pandemic. Look at this camera setup, and a mic sounds good. Look, there's even a live audience.
Yeah, I mean it's. Oh yeah. Oh, you're ready to go. Yeah,
$1 million per episode budget. So it's a lot of it. Yeah.
This has been bothering me the whole stream. What is that? Is that a drawing board? What is this monitor?
This?
Yes.
It's a Wacom tablet. So yeah, it's
that's what I thought.
You can draw on it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. And
it's also a shameless plug.
There it is. Yeah, you know what? It's funny because I got it right here. So I was like, that looks familiar. Like
yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. That is awesome. Rob, do you have any final thoughts or questions too before us? I know you guys probably got to get going here in a minute.
Just that I need to get the entire X-Men line, some of that Godzilla line.
Well, I have literally, Rob, this is not a joke. I had set aside a Wolverine for you when I first started working at Mondo in November. You'll see in your inbox somewhere buried from my email address. It's in there. So just look up Peter Santa Maria or Attack Peter. I forget which email I sent it from. But I have it set aside, and Christian gave me your email, so it's not weird and stalkery.
No, wait. It's Attack Peter.
It's either that email or petersantamaria.477. But nonetheless, I'll shoot you another one, or DM me on Instagram or something. And I have it sitting right there.
Free toys.
You better watch out, Rob. He might invite you to his Uber next.
How did I put up an email that said, "Oh, you know what? This wasn't in my main box."
It's all good.
And it says free toys, and how could I have not answered an email that says free toys?
I said it. It said free toys on it. It probably could look spam.
No, that it was.
Right,
I found it was in my spam filter.
I put a bunch of weird characters in it, like extends.
Wow. Well, yeah. Now I'm writing you back.
All right, dude. Yeah, but yeah.
Well, there you have it, Rob.
I love this. I have to read this. It says, I've been watching your figure setup on campus.
Oh, it's like an observation here.
I thought that perhaps you'd be interested in checking out a piece from our catalog. What? Of course I would have answered that. I didn't see this.
That's it. I'm like, I know Wolverine could fit right in between Freddie Mercury.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding? I'll take
yeah, Vampirella. I just saw Vampirella.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's that's the Feist and Vampirella.
Yeah.
By the way, that's an old Hot Toys James Dean.
Wow.
They put out, I got Hot Toys James Dean and Hot Toys Marlon Brando. And he has a cigarette. I'm obsessed with figures that have cigarettes.
Listen,
Oh,
out
come
of all
on.
those figures,
I'm not even
P-Rock, I
smoking.
thought you were gonna look at the at the Prince.
Nah,
Oh my
I,
God, do I
I
love
love
it.
like Prince too much already.
Do
I
I
already
love
hear
my
I hear it
Prince.
too much.
I
I
mean,
love that brother.
That
I
is
got
the most
2 versions of her.
expensive figure I own.
The Prince one?
Yeah, it was a custom. I'll tell you, Elizabeth's not watching, so I can say, $2,400.
Woo!
I spent 20 because I've been looking for that figure, and there was only 30 made. I don't really know. And one
Does it
day,
sing?
no, one day it pops up on Facebook, and it's one of 30. It's the actual
It's
first.
number
Oh, you got
one.
the number
Number
one.
one.
Oh,
Look at that.
And this guy in the UK, I was like, dude, I have to have this, and I didn't have 2,400 spare dollars, so I'm like, can I like send you 500 as a deposit? It took me like a couple weeks to give the money, but then he sent it. And he
Nice,
threw
man.
in, he knew I had this band, this 6-scale band, and he threw in a head sculpt of Jim Morrison.
No shit.
Oh.
And I've got to
Mhm.
find somebody to paint it up. It's a great head sculpt.
That's
So
right.
I thought,
Nice.
well, reach out to Bob Dylan. You know he knows everybody.
yeah, he knows I need to get my my Jim Morrison painted. But yeah, now that
Awesome.
So Toys is doing it.
Well, but you've
We'll
got
talk
yours.
after too. I want to see if we can get you guys some stuff that we'll dig. And P-Rock, you don't. You say you don't have any soft vinyl Godzilla stuff from us?
No. Nope.
So we gotta get you one of those.
His name is P-Rock.
Yeah, man.
Zilla.
I have
I know,
all
I
the
see it.
SH
It's
figure
familiar.
art stuff. All
I know,
Godzilla
I know.
up here.
You have X
Uh,
Plus?
No, I see. I came in late. I came in more with the SH figure art, and then from
Oh.
there I went to the 1/6 scale.
Let me show you something real quick.
All right.
I know. I see the X Plus. I always see them all the time. I'm like, man, this is like borderline statues though. So if that's the case, I was like, I should just get a Pride 1 statue if I'm gonna get X Plus. But the X
There's
Plus is
nothing
beautiful,
like
man.
X Plus Godzilla
Oh,
the
figure.
shit.
What?
Godzilla. Yeah, those
Dude.
things look beautiful, man.
That's
This
dope.
thing, and it's vinyl, so you don't have to be too precious about it.
Because
It's
those bring
perfect.
me the kid when I was a kid. It had you had the toys that were smaller like that.
But these
like
are
the vinyl
super
toys.
suit accurate. Like they even got the
I know.
folds in the suit where it's like you can tell it's like a suit actor wearing it.
Yeah, that is absolutely stunning.
That's one thing people tell me. They're like, "Yo, you're not a true Godzilla fan until you have an
Oh.
X Plus." Oh no!
Oh,
But it's okay because it's
That's meant to
vinyl.
happen. That-
It's
that's meant to
vinyl.
happen.
You don't have
That's
to worry
awesome.
about it. You don't have to
that's
worry
so
about
cool,
it.
man.
Yeah.
No, but I need
Well,
to get,
we'll
I
probably
need-
talk
I
a
need
little
to
bit
jump
after
in
too,
that
guys.
line.
But before we wrap, but Miguel also too. I'm glad that you're back. They had a good vacation. It's awesome.
Yeah,
to,
man. Listen,
being back again.
Obviously, I missed that last week because I had to, take care of some business in Florida. But man, what a time to come back to have Mondo on here, and of course Robert as well. But man, like
Good
I
to see
said
you.
before, I couldn't say it any better, man. I really appreciate you guys being on. Especially for me, I had something real close with Mondo because I'm a huge fan of the X-Men. 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗓 was my kind of hero growing up, and I was able to show him this. He autographed it. I did
That's
the
awesome.
whole reveal with the writer, so that Mondo brought me closer to that.
Yeah.
So definitely means a lot to me, and I'm looking forward to now what you guys are gonna do. I feel like you guys are just growing like at a rapid pace.
That's the point.
You guys are just becoming more and more viral. You guys doing things like this is awesome. So just big things to come. I can't wait, man.
Awesome, man. I hope to bump into you soon. I mean, if you're ever in
for
Miami,
sure. You will.
next time you're in Florida on business, check us out in Miami.
I got you. All right, sounds good,
All
man.
right.
And do you still have that Wolverine next to you?
Yeah, I got both of them.
Yeah.
So
If I full screen you, just so I can see it a little bit better, and everybody's
Yeah,
still
so this
tuning
is-
in here.
So I got one that I did not want to open, and 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗓's a big friend of ours, so he autographed it for me. He saw it firsthand when I brought it to him too, and it's crazy because we had like a crowd. We had more of a crowd of people in his line when I brought this out. Everybody thought I got it at the convention, and everybody wanted to buy it off me. It was crazy. I had to like hightail out of there with this, but this is the one boxed in. Just the box alone, I mean, you got to appreciate the bed, everything about it. I mean,
It's awesome.
it just looks really good. And then, of course, I had to buy one to get out of the box.
Yeah.
Just because, like you guys heard on the stream, it just comes with so many different options and stuff.
Yeah.
And, even, we talked about Sabertooth. I
Send me
thought
the
that was
box.
awesome. I missed the chance to get the Sabertooth. But even with the Magneto,
Same.
imagine creating that cover where he's taking his, adamantium out
Yeah.
with that Magneto. But you guys are doing such a great job.
Thanks, man.
That Logan, man, I'm gonna try hard, man. But
That
yeah.
Logan's
Sabertooth
gonna
still-
be a
Sabertooth's
tough
still
one.
available.
Bro,
Yeah,
that
man, I
fucking
wanna-
Joker, man. Sorry. Just
Yeah.
that Joker's so fucking big, dude.
Oh, the
The
Ah,
Joker's
Joker.
ridiculous.
Look,
Oh, yeah,
well-
that Joker's insane.
Yeah.
Love the Joker. But yeah,
Yeah.
man, I love it, man. It's like I said, growing up, X-Men animated series was my thing. So definitely
Yeah.
appreciate what you guys are
Oh.
doing.
Who's
Well,
your
yeah.
I even love the
favorite
packaging,
X-Men?
lot.
the box
Yeah, that
printing,
pack.
and the
Yeah,
that
dude,
matte finish with the gold printing on it's
Dude,
great.
it's just crazy the amount of details they spent on the artwork, on the art box. Like you guys do your homework, and that's the thing that I
Yeah.
love, man. Like you guys, like all these
Mhm.
little things that, like this picture frame, right? The
Yeah.
bubble gum for Jubilee,
Yeah.
like the dynamite for Sabertooth. I know a lot of people don't think anything of it, but again, that was from the 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗎𝗔𝗘, series. So
That's
there's
how
a
we do
lot
it
of
when we
little
have a-
Easter eggs, man, that I just go nuts over. I'm like, oh, these guys are killing me, right?
Somebody in the comments, I'm not gonna say who, earlier in the show named a property that we're gonna do that we're
Ooh,
already working on.
nice.
And that's how we went about it. We said, okay, if we're gonna do this, we love this, we know it back and forth, but let's go rewatch some of the content. I'm not even gonna say what type of content. Let's go rewatch some of it and make sure there's no Easter eggs we're forgetting to include here, because this
Dude, I
is gonna
love
be
the
a
Easter eggs.
yeah. So
love it.
hopefully we'll talk about that in the future. But yeah, thank you, man. That means a whole lot, and we're so stoked. The team, is super excited. Florian Bertmer, speaking of Skeletor, one of our concept artists, Emiliano Santa Lucia, who was a comic artist in the MOTU days, early 2000s, killer guy. He's done concept art for us across the entire MOTU line. So it is that. It's like going out, finding the people who are excited to work on this stuff. And then, yeah, all of us are tremendous geeks about this stuff and can't believe that we get to do it for a living. Frankly, we have those conversations every
Yeah.
once in a while. It's like, "Bro, can you believe this is what we fucking do, dude?" Like, it's
I know.
amazing. We don't
Hey,
take it for
so
granted.
question, because do you guys, I know you guys talked to Eric and Julia when you guys released this, you presented to them what you guys wanted to do, but how is it? I know there's feedback from the fans, right? But what is it when you get feedbacks from the actual people who actually worked on the original stuff, like them? Like, do you go in there nervous, like when
Dude,
you get the
when-
reaction? Because listen, they
dude.
said all great things about you guys.
Yes.
They said great things about the product, and again, like when they were with me on the show, they got to see it firsthand there too, and they just loved it. But like, how do you guys like get with them and
You
get
shit
that
your
like
pants, bro. You
assurance?
shit
I
your
know,
pants.
right? I
You
can't
shit in your
imagine.
pants. Like we had, like I said, John Carpenter got a chance to see the figures that we are, the prototypes for They Live and for the Thing, and I'm just like, fuck, nothing's gonna be good enough. This guy knows this shit back and forth. Your asshole just clenches up a little bit, like, and but then when they dig it, you're like, I don't even want to say it's like a celebration. You're just like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Or that, because like that, even if we never told anybody, the fact that they didn't like it or didn't flip out would bum me out to the fucking core of my soul, and I would have to live with that knowledge. And so when they're stoked,
yeah, it's getting like that approval, right? Like especially as an
Exactly.
artist, man. Like you go
Exactly.
in there and you're just like you're taking something that it was somebody's baby and
Yes.
presenting to them.
yes,
it's
because
really
imagine what
cool.
the opposite means. The opposite means that someone's like the things that you just shat all over the thing they worked so hard on their whole life. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it's like you're basically babysitting someone's kid while you're working on it. You want to return it back in one piece, if not better.
Oh, I mean, it's killer. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, I don't know if you guys watched any Star Trek or not.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was cool. So we had, and Rob was with
Stashwick.
us. Yeah, Todd Stashwick was on, and then I was able to reveal his head sculpt for his Captain Shaw from Star Trek Picard. He had no idea.
Yeah, and
That's
just
awesome.
to see his reaction, I mean, it's just it gives
So
you
sick.
goosebumps because he was like, really, and like it was pretty cool, man.
Yeah, man.
It was
It's
amazing.
dude, we have an awesome fucking community. We have an awesome interest. This is super fucking fun. And it's literally inspired us to do the stuff that we're doing. My whole life has been pointing to this moment. We didn't even talk about, Alex had a whole nother life, a career, and decided to come into this industry. We talked about it a little bit. I don't know if you guys know, but he won't say it himself. Alex directed Nick Cage and Elijah Wood in a film. And this is where and Alex, I don't mean to speak for you, but it seems like you're so fucking stoked to do this that it says a lot. about how much we love this.
I've always been a toy fan, comic book fan, art fan, and that's always been such a huge part of my being. And yeah, Mondo is like satisfies all those things. It's the dream.
Just
really.
clicks.
Yeah,
just clicks
that's awesome.
Yeah. That's amazing, guys.
But yeah, man. Thank you guys for having us, dude. Anytime, we're happy to come on and
more than
shoot the shit.
welcome. We'll riff, especially when something on the horizon.
Yeah, we'll just sit and listen to people say, "How about this? How about this? How about this?" And we'll be like
Right?
Wait. Can I just stop for a second?
Yeah.
Alex directed Jerry Lewis.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
shit. I was just watching Jerry Lewis in a Wise Guy arc from the late 80s.
Yeah.
That is pretty. And Stephen Williams, Mr. X. This is pretty great cast you had to work with here.
Yeah, I mean, it was a dream come true. Working on that movie, working with that level of talent, and working with Jerry Lewis.
That's
and Nick
amazing.
Cage at the same time, utterly surreal. Like
I
awesome.
can't even imagine. Now, was that did you work with your brother on this?
Yes, yeah.
That's amazing.
So
this has gone to the top of my list to watch.
Yeah, see, I know that Rob was, I knew it instantly. You're like, wow, I knew you were going to figure it out.
I mean, when you, come on. You find out like, ooh.
Right, you're like, wait a minute.
It's just to say we're passionate,
Oh,
yeah.
Absolutely.
right,
Luminara, by the way, I do want to mention that too. She's like, I'll buy a Storm figure if you guys made one.
Heck yeah.
Can you say it?
No.
Storm's coming? No? Yes? Maybe? So
There's always a storm coming.
He says you got probably color palette.
That might be an accidental reveal for our Twister 1/6 scale coming soon.
Twister.
If a Storm comes, we would get a punk sculpt and a regular sculpt, right?
I would quit my job if we didn't get both of those.
Yeah, I was about to say.
But here's the problem with that. Are you able to? Will you guys be able to do it in a way that the outfits are different too? Right? Because
it doesn't have to be though.
It doesn't have to be. You're right, but would it look a little if she was
too hard to
assuming
do.
she's
You
wearing
have two separate bodies more likely.
Well, because she would
maybe
have
multiple paints.
Yeah,
she'd have her silver outfit. It's the animated series. So if you give her the head with the mohawk, it would.
If we only got to do one outfit, which one should we do?
Oh, you gotta do the white.
Well, it's gotta be the white.
The white with a
the
little
flowing hair.
the Jim Lee kind of.
She's got to have the staff from the because she was yes.
And her eyes need to be white. Her eyes need to be white. No pupils. Maybe the second head sculpt has pupils.
Right?
Why not both? Yeah, I mean, you guys are gonna do like 5 head sculpts, I'm sure.
Or you can make you should
if you guys do the one body because you can't for whatever reason do the other one, you could still include the mohawk. I don't think anybody's gonna be that upset that she's not in her jean jacket from Days of Future Past. But definitely, what else? Definitely the staff from the Morlocks, right? What else? Her earrings got to be there, lightning bolt earrings.
Something of Forge, you got to be thrown in there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Then you can do the whole life
head.
death thing.
I know it's not as popular as the mohawk, but she did have the.
She did have a ponytail. Yep. Yes, she did. They already have this on a list. They're just making sure we're checking off the list for them.
We have to have
she's already coming. I already know she's coming. It's inevitable, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Can you imagine that badass cape? That badass cape, that's attached to the wrists. With a wire inside.
Yo, you know what's funny?
See, I'm checking eye movement and body language.
We're here talking shit, and the prototype's like right in front of them, and we can't see it. And they're just like, they're like suckers.
Hell yeah, Mario, dude, what's up, buddy? I don't know if I may have seen Mario. My apologies. Mario's gonna be on tonight. He has not been on tonight, but that is okay. Shout out to Mario. Hey, you guys. You know what? I'm gonna do it. Fuck it. El Professoro, one of my closest friends, man. You guys like watching my channel, Miguel's, everybody else. Go subscribe to Mario.
Wait,
he's almost 1,000.
He's almost at 1,000, guys. I think he needs like a good handful. If you guys can get him to 1,000, man, you have no idea how much it'll mean to him. I know he doesn't say it a lot, but I'm telling you, it means a lot to him, man. So if you guys already haven't subscribed to him, please do. Please do.
100%. I mean, well, here you go, Mario. I got to do it. I gotta do it. As
Taking
always,
notes,
Mario
I
is
see.
at hey,
Man,
he's
I'm
at
looking at this.
949. He's so
Oh,
close.
there you go.
949. Come on, guys.
I'm very excited about this Storm figure now.
Yeah,
I'm
listen.
looking at all these
Listen.
different.
Listen,
things.
I have full confidence that you guys are gonna nail it
They're
because
gonna-
you
he said they're
guys
gonna try
got
to
the
get to all
little
of them.
Easter
They're
eggs
gonna
for
try to get to all
everything
of them.
There's
else.
no way you don't do a Storm figure in this line. I just
Co-leader of the-
there might be another figure that has to come first. Is all.
Yeah.
There's
all I gotta
no
say is
way
coming from
you don't do a Storm figure.
Coming from one of the people who,
Yeah.
when before I bought the Mondos, I was kind of in that same boat where I was like, oh, they're kind of big toys, like bigger. But man, I want to say thanks for what you guys do make, because having them in hand, man, it's a complete story. Having them in hand, it made me go back and watch the cartoons. And I have a 2-year-old son that he actually starts watching them with me, and it's like I went to Walmart and bought the damn Blu-rays and the DVDs like to watch the series all over again. It just brings back so many memories, and just I'm telling you, like, the part when you open the box and just the accessories by themselves, man. Like,
strongly recommend it if you've never done it. I'm not saying go out and buy 6 figures, off the bat. Just go pick one that you think you'd be hyped on.
Dude,
I know.
how cool is that?
Yeah.
I literally have this on my desk because it's like I don't know where to put it.
Yeah.
It's not on my Wolverine, and I'm how cool is that?
Pick one. You guys are all 6 scale collectors watching this too. Like, pick one figure that you would not be bummed out about. And if you really don't like it, like if you don't think it's like a fun ass figure to open up and enjoy in it, let us know, because I'd be shocked.
No,
I just strongly recommend just try one. The Skeletor is not a bad place to start.
No, and you have till Friday.
Yes, that's a big one.
If you want that exclusive, guys, we talk all night. We'll probably wrap. I know you guys got to go. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much.
I just want to wait till P-Rock shows us this.
Yeah, we'll have P-Rock back, but JFK21 is wearing his Mondo re-release after the regular sales of figures. No.
Well, look, technically no, but we had a few extra of our regular, a very limited amount of our regular He-Man, so we put them up with the Skeletor because we knew there were people who just heard about our line recently and are like, yeah, I want Skeletor, but how am I not going to have a He-Man? So in this case, we did it. It's not something we usually do.
Okay, because this Toku collector,
I wouldn't count on it. I'll put it that way. I wouldn't count on it.
This is my one of my closest real life friends, and this is the problem for him. I knew as soon as you just said it. See what he just said? He's like, what? Because he needs a He-Man, and he was in the same boat. He's like, fuck, I want this Skeletor because he's such a huge Masters fan, but he was like, I didn't get He-Man, so.
Yeah.
You
can get it right now. It's on the site. I think they're still left. There was a
P-Rock.
super limited
there's
amount of
still.
them.
But real quick too, like with most of my other 1/6 scale figures, I usually, like, if I pose them with the accessory I'm normally gonna keep them with, but with your guys, man, like I got all the accessories still in baggies.
Dude, look at that.
I know for a fact,
bro.
I know for a fact I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back and like take more pictures with them. There's so many damn accessories, so many damn memories in here.
I got the same thing. I got a drawer with all of mine are in Ziploc so I could swap them out. I swear to God.
Same.
That's awesome.
You're gonna be on the corner with those bags, be like, yo, this one here, I got this one here, I got this one here.
I got some
All right, you guys, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it, and I hope to be in touch with all of you again real soon. And please, definitely you guys, and if you're watching this, hit us up on Instagram, DM us. We respond to everything we get, and within reason, and love to stay in touch and hear what you guys think about it once you get these figures in hand for sure. Appreciate it.
Awesome, man.
Awesome. Yes, thank everybody here for coming through tonight. And again, anytime, you guys are more than welcome. I'm sure this will not be the last time.
No, we'll take you up on it. We'll be real annoying about it.
That's
Hey,
fine.
listen.
That's fine.
I'll throw a promise out there. The minute you get certain characters out, I'll bring the voice actor on.
Let's go
to do the reveal. So I got
that'd be very
you
cool.
name them, whoever. I got Beast, I got Rogue. You name Storm, I can get her on. You name it. I just gotta make one phone call. We'll get her on here. We'll show the reveal. We'll make it happen.
Awesome. We gotta talk.
All right, let's do it.
Is
All right,
awesome.
you guys. We'll
All
talk
right,
soon.
guys. You guys have a good rest of the night. We will
Later.
see you Saturday. Peace out.